All right. Welcome to the midnight hour.
Hello, everybody.
Yay. All right. Wow. Where is everybody? Oh, my screen goes blank, of course. Oh, there I am. Way. All right. Michael's Adventures says he is here. Hello, sir. You are first, but certainly won't be the last here in the midnight hour. Yeah, all I just want to know is wow. You know what? I know we must be doing something right, Jennifer Tochi. I know we must be doing something right. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Amanda. Me and Jennifer and Hobbs must be doing something right because we're now being counter programmed. I noticed that now we got other channels doing lives when we're up. That's what happens when you got good topics and the Pumpkin King. Oh, wait a minute. We don't have the Pumpkin King tonight. The Pumpkin King will be here in the chat.
Yes.
No, actually, I just want to sit there and give a shout out to Tristan Collector Man. I know he's out there doing his live with Elm Street. Looking at the Elm Street. I just think what it is, Jennifer, what it is that people are so excited for Halloween. They're not waiting for October. They're sitting there going like, you know what? October's coming in. What is it? Let's see. It's today's the 5th, so that's 26 more. 25 more days. That's good enough. I can start Halloween on September 5th. I can do that. I can start Halloween. Doomsday Crypt is also going to be doing a live here. Looks like he is doing his second convention. He did that Crypticon in Kansas City, and he went from just having just nightmares about how that show was going to turn out for him to he ended up having a hell of a time, and now he's got the convention fever, and so he is actually doing his second show. He's going down to Orlando and doing Phantasm. So congratulations to John. I hope he has an awesome time. We're looking forward to him. We're looking forward to him actually sending out some videos. He's going to be doing some live updates from his booth, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, well.
I suppose we should try to share this out a little bit. I'll share this out the usual way. I'll send it out to our good friend Kevin, he lets me send out this on YouTube on Reddit, which I'm very grateful for. I always say thank you for that, Kevin. So,
Kevin's a nice
oh,
guy.
Kevin is a really nice guy. Really, I missed TuberChat today, but I'll catch it tomorrow. Um, uh, I'll catch it tomorrow. Wow, he's actually got 3 more members in the on the Reddit group. Now he's up to 186. So that's really cool, man. It was really yeah. Reddit is interesting. I will send this out on Facebook. Oh, hey, Jaden, how are you? Of course, Hobbs comes in there and just reinforces what I just said about some people think Halloween is all year round, and for some people, Halloween is all year round. Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Uh,
one of
oh,
them.
Amanda just said hi, Hobbs. Amanda's mom. Every video that Amanda's been doing lately, Amanda's mom's been saying hi, Hobbs. Every video, it's hilarious. Hi, Hobbs. Hobbs is getting rather famous, I think.
Oh
Uh,
yes, after that video that sheWIND made for him.
no, did you see that? Did you see that? That was
Yeah,
such a
I
fun.
did.
That was such a fun shout out video they did as well. Um, they put a ton of us on there. They even put me and the cheetah in there. Uh,
Yeah, I saw that.
you see that? I'm going like, wow, the cheetah he actually looks really friendly here. He's not, his look like, he doesn't look like a fierce meat eater like he usually does. Um, and of course, Hobbs is throwing up the pumpkins. Yeah. Uh, But speaking of the Elm Street, though, but I will have to say this, though. I will have to say this. Like, I know everybody's doing Halloween and everything else. I just, I don't know. Maybe this is sacrilege. Maybe this is like, maybe I don't think I'll get my fanboy card suspended. In fact, I know I won't. But I just want to see someone else do something different. This is what I love about, uh, um, oh, yep, Jennifer is here. JKS 80s horror fan. Yep, holy cow, Jennifer is here. Yes, she is. Hi, Phil. How are you?
Hi,
Hobbs is sitting there. Hobbs is sitting there saying hi, Amanda's mom. uh, Canada's represented. So I just wanted to sit there and say, I just like it's one thing I really like about our new series that we're doing. And yes, we're only doing it once a month, but that's okay. Uh, we're doing the ISC midnight movies, and like in September we're doing the Human Centipede. Now, do you think I picked out the Human Centipede? No.
No.
Do you think Knight did it? Knight for Night Watch? You think he picked out the Human Centipede? Nope.
Yeah.
No, it was not. Ben from Cadaver Club? Think he picked out the Human Centipede for us to watch? Because he's come in here many times and dropped the Human Centipede on the chat. So you think that Ben would be the one that says, you know what, for our next movie that we watch, we're going to be watching the Human Centipede. And people will sit there and say, yeah, I can see that happen. I can see Ben from Cadaver Club doing that. But it wasn't. It wasn't Ben. It was Coriander. Coriander picked it out. Coriander and Jerry. Yeah, that's hilarious.
I'm trying to get my hands on that movie on DVD, but I just cannot find it.
Oh, it's hard. It's hard. I had a chance to get it at my video store when it was closing and before it was closing, and I just was looking at it and I'm going like, you know, there's part of me that says go ahead and get it because, and I wish I had listened to that part of me. There was part of me that wanted to get it because I wanted to have, you know, all the complete series for the IFC midnight. So there was that, and I could have got them each for $1. But then the other half of me is going like, do I really want to see a movie or have a movie on my shelf that shows someone on their hands and knees with their ass on somebody else's tailpipe? And I was just like, oh, this is so disgusting. I should have listened to the first part of me. I should have said, you know what? I have it. I'm proudly going to display it. And then I'll be a completist. Let's see. Pat wants the Criterion with a better picture quality. Hey, Mr. Dan of Horror, welcome. So tonight we're gonna change things up a little bit, and just to give you a clue on what we're going to be talking about, just take a look at my name, Betsy Russell Fan Club. Oh yeah. But before we get into the fun and shenanigans, I did something today though, Jennifer.
What did you do?
I actually watched Spyro, the new movie based on the Saw series. Spyro from the Book of Saw. I have to sit there and say that it's a very, very solid movie. I didn't think it was. It played out more as a crime drama thriller than it did a horror movie. It didn't play out like a horror movie. But it did play out like a thriller. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Dan. You can party with us tonight. Grab that coffee. So I had Chris Rock in it, Max Minghella, Samuel Jackson, and Maricel Nichols. Um, I I I thought it was solid. Um, I would definitely recommend it. The Last Trap was definitely a throwback to the old school. The last trap they had, when you see that, you can sit there and go like, yeah, that's old school. Um, the other ones before it, they're okay, for what they were.
Yeah.
But the last one was that was off the chain. That was that was a good one. I was sitting there going, geez, they went there. That's wicked. Um, but I really liked it. Um, I thought Chris Rock did a good job. Um, Unfortunately, I think what hurts him is that he gave a really earnest performance. He really did. He gave a real earnest performance, and he really wanted this movie made. He actually approached the guy who was running Lionsgate and walked up to him at a party and sit there and say, "Hey, I want to get back involved. I want to get involved with this." He wanted to stretch out his wings. Chris Rock's always known as the comedian. In fact, he said he's never even held a gun in a movie other than this one time in Lethal Weapon. He's never had a gun. He's never done anything like that. And I'm like, holy shit, that's been a long, long time. And I didn't realize that. I know he did hi winners. Uh, Whoops. Oh, how did I do that? I wanted to say hi. Welcome, welcome. Um, I know that he did the Longest Yard remake with Adam Sandler, and but they sort of actually defanged that movie. The first one was a lot more heavier, definitely a lot more dramatic, and it had its fun parts definitely, but it was much more dramatic. Um, like when they showed the character Caretaker, who was actually played by James Hampton, who played Michael J. Fox's dad on Teen Wolf. Um, well, they showed his character getting killed in the movie, whereas the remake they didn't show Chris Rock actually dying. They showed him going in there and they see the trap a little bit, and then that's it. And it was just wasn't it just didn't get played for dramatics. They're looking more for football action. Um, but I thought he did a nice job. I thought the supporting cast was good. Darren Lynn Bousman definitely was on his jazz and directing it. Um,
How did Samuel do?
Samuel was good. I'm with everybody else who said they're going like they needed to have him more in the movie, but I think they had to limit him down in the movie for budgetary concerns. I think that's the reason why they were trying to, because I'm sure that Samuel Jackson did it for a lot less money than he usually gets. The movie was low budget. Um, so they're just holding their breath, hoping that the movie would do well. And of course, the pandemic came and hurt it. Um, but then when it did come out, a lot of people ended up really liking it, and I can see why. I mean, it's like I said, at least it had it did the right thing, and it told a story. Uh, so yeah, I watched that. Um, What else have I watched? I haven't really watched a whole lot this week. I got stuck in the first season of Gilligan's Island. I they shot it in black and white. The first season's in black and
Yeah.
white. I have not seen the first season in I cannot remember when. And so there's a lot of it sort of almost like new all over again. And I we're gonna do this as a topic on the show, and maybe we'll do this next week. In fact, that's a good idea. So next week our topic's going to be, one of our lists is the top the top 10 most annoying TV characters that you know. that tend to like, that tend to grate on your ass more than anybody. When you watch them, you just want them to die horribly. I mean, you just look at them and go like, "Oh shit," like they're just terrible characters.
So many people just came to my head right now.
I mean, I'm watching the first season of Gilligan, and I'm telling you, I'm just saying, I don't know how the show made it past the third episode, because by the third episode, they would have fucking killed his ass. They would have killed him. They would have ran a bamboo pipe through his ass, and they would have roasted and ate his ass, because he's so damn annoying. He always was fucking up everything. I mean, it's just like, it's surprised that the skipper didn't have like 20 heart attacks. But it's very fun watching it again. That's for sure. Like I said, it's go back and you rewatch it. It's like it's new. It's like, what? I don't remember this. I don't remember this. And then they had like little running gags throughout the season. Like the funniest one for me was like they had Ginger would she was always trying to seduce somebody somewhere, and she never did. But she would go up to Gilligan in the first season, and then she would go like this. She go like, and then go touch him, and they always showed him turning his head and knocking himself out. Then he would slide down. Then he slide down the pole, down the tree, and then Tina Louise would look toward the camera and pop her eyeballs and go like, it was hilarious. No, not much meat on Gil. You know what though? You could have used his ass for bait. You could have caught something off the surf. You could have caught a damn minnow or something.
Yep.
Either that or maybe that, or maybe just use his body as a plug-in on the hole, on the boat itself.
Or go cannibal on him, man.
That's what I would say. That's what I'm saying. I mean, all I know is that he was just like, oh my gosh, he just ruined everything. I mean, it's like how many times
meat on him, but hey,
it's like how many times could you let him get away with doing something wrong? Before you just wanted us to kill him. I don't think they could do Gilligan's Island. I don't think they could do a Gilligan's Islands today, because I think they probably would kill him in the first episode, and then the next week it'll be the Professor's Island.
So, are you a Ginger or Marianne?
Oh, without a doubt, always and forever, I am a Ginger fan. Tina Louise was my very first celebrity crush. Oh gosh, look at going back and seeing her doing the first season. I'm just like, holy cow! You just fall all over again. Like, damn, she was just. And you wonder, you're sitting there, you're looking at her and going like, what possessed her to do this show? I know that she absolutely hated it. She felt that doing the show ruined her career, and she was probably right. She was probably right. Because before she did Gilligan's Island, she was doing movies. I mean, and she in plays, important plays and movies. I mean, she was doing dramatic pieces. She wasn't like a Marilyn Monroe type. She was doing dramatic roles, and they got her on this show here, and she was so scared that it was going to ruin her career. After the show went off the air, they kept on trying to do doing over and over and over, because it became such a cult favorite, and she just did not want anything to do with that. They didn't. She would. I think she did a couple of reunion shows on talk shows.
Yeah, and Return to Gilligan's Island and that movie.
Mr. Dan saying that he just saw Tina Louise on an episode of Craft Suspense Theater from 1963. She was pretty good in it. Yes,
Wow.
people have no idea how good Tina Louise really was as an actress, but she was. She was a very good actress. Um, the first time I ever saw her do a role outside of Gilligan's Island, she actually did a made-for-TV movie for ABC called Death Screen, and it was based on a true story where a girl was being stabbed to death. It was based on a case in Boston, and she was being attacked and stabbed to death. And about 30 neighbors watched and did nothing. They didn't. They called the cops, but no one went down to try to help her at all. And not everybody called the cops. And so it was horrendous. It was really it was just really sad.
Yeah.
And so then now you have this police detective. He's trying to find out who did this, and he comes and he interviews Tina Louise, and Tina Louise. It turned out that the girl killed was actually Tina Louise's girlfriend. Again, girlfriend. This is 1974. It's one of the first openly acknowledged like a homosexual relationship on TV, and but she was really good at it. And I love that movie. I look for that movie all the time. I wish they got. I don't think it ever got released on DVD. I could be wrong. I wish it had. It was actually the first appearance of Raul Julia. He played the cop,
Oh
and
no.
yeah, yeah. It came out in 1974 on a Friday night, a movie, and he was so good. And it looked like they were going to make a pilot out of it. They're going to try to bring it to series, but it never happened. But it was a
Yeah.
really good movie. You know, it's the first time I ever saw Tina Louise in a dramatic role, and it was like, wow. But she stayed apart. She didn't do any of the reunions. She didn't give permission to she didn't give any permission to use her likeness or her, like, that's why they had to come up. They had a different actress play her part, but when they did a cartoon, they had to change her look. They couldn't make her the cartoon character look like Tina Louise. She said, no, no, I don't think so. She had no interest in doing the show, but she didn't want them to have her likeness on the show. I mean, and not only that, but you found out later on that the gentleman who made the show, Sherwood Schwartz, he really, really ripped those people off. That show made hundreds of millions of dollars, and those actors didn't make shit. They didn't make no royalties, no residues, no nothing. He kept it all. Never once did he come up there and decide to write a check or anything. Now, some actors from Gilligan's Island, like Natalie Schaefer, who played Mrs. Howe, uh, she was already pretty well off. She was, she was okay. She actually did the show, and I heard this from different sources. She did the pilot because she got a free trip to Hawaii out of it. She didn't expect it. She got a free trip, so she said, "Yeah, I'll do it." She didn't expect it to go anywhere, and Gilligan's Island actually it didn't. They had to redo the pilot like 3 times, and in the first season of Gilligan's Island, they included the pilot, the unaired pilot in the collection, and oh my gosh, it just wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked. With the guy who they had playing the professor was wrong. They had two different actresses playing secretaries. Kit Smythe, she was cute, but the other girl, she looked like Rosie the Riveter. She had a bulldog chin. She looked
Yeah.
she looked she looked like she could bench press the skipper. And so they went back. They went back and they had a fight over it, and finally they finally casted. They went and recast, and so they casted Russell Johnson and Don Wells and Tina Louise in the last 3 rows. Thanks, Hobbs. Um, so yeah, that was interesting. Gilligan's Island. It was they filmed it off on a studio on CBS. They had it on a lot. They shot some scenes on Zuma Beach. they shot the pilot in Hawaii, and then they shot the little lagoon, which was only 4 feet. 4 feet. They shot that in a lot, and I guess if you eagle-eyed, you could spot like flags or cars driving in the background. Um, yeah, but Tina Louise actually is the last one left. She's the last cast member.
Yeah.
The rest of them are all gone. Yeah. I met her daughter. Caprice. I had bought I bought a CD. I think it was called Time for Tina, and I bought the CD at a used bookstore, and it was one of the ones that I kept when I moved out here to Michigan. And this is my Tina Louise story. Oh, the ghost episode scared you? Yeah, they when they started doing the dreams sequences on Gilligan's Island, that was really cute. Those were really fun. A lot of really creative. Like the first one they had with the Western one, they had all this. They had all you hear all the theme music from on Gunsmoke in the background, which was on CBS at the time. In fact, that's the reason why Gilligan Island got canceled. They got canceled even though it won its time spot for the 3 years that it was on. They needed something. They needed to make room for Gunsmoke, and so they canceled Gilligan Island so they can get Gunsmoke on. Which was a waste of time because Gunsmoke only had like 4 plots. They only have 4 plots. They just reworked them.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. I mean, you talk about Gilligan Island not having very many plots. They had a hell of a lot more plot than Gunsmoke did. Holy shit!
They did.
Oh, I got a book. I got a book of Gunsmoke, which ran from 1955 to 1975. Ran for 20 years. It used to be the longest running dramatic show on American TV until Law and Order passed it. And then I got it, and on it had the synopsis of all the episodes. Like all the people who were on the show, what was the show was about. It was like, wow, all right, this is so gonna be so cool. And then I'm like, okay. Then I started reading it, and as I'm reading it, I'm probably like by the 3rd season. Now, remember, this was on 20 years. By the 3rd season, I'm noticing that, boy, a lot of these plots are just completely they're done over and over and over.
Yeah.
Matt Dillon had to face an old friend who was out to kill him. He was an old lawman who went to seed. Some mysterious gunman, or made a play for Miss Kitty, or or an ex-con out for revenge, and then you shift it around. Like someone's after Doc because Doc didn't heal his bunion, so he's going to come in for revenge. Miss Kitty is going to have somebody's going to be after Miss Kitty because he was a nickel short of a night of fun with Miss Kitty, and she wouldn't give him the time of day. Then you had Chester. His family is everywhere. Like, oh, this is my cousin's cousin. Well, wasn't he in there in the last episode? No, that was just my cousin's nephew. So you had that, and it just all ran over and over and over again. So yeah. So that was my first episode of Gunsmoke. That was my episodes of Gunsmoke, and I was just like, oh my god, just repeat themselves. Now Gilligan's Island, though, it definitely was more original. I mean, they got 98 episodes out of it. I mean, that was pretty good, really.
Yeah.
I mean, for such a limited premise, I mean, they did pretty good, I thought. How many stories did you?
I loved seeing that episode with that young Kurt Russell in it. His monkey boy or whatever he was playing.
Right. The first thing I saw Kurt Russell in was all those Disney movies. Remember the Disney movies he did? the world's strongest boy, or the boy with the computer, the boy who he always played Dexter. He played his character Dexter, and he was always getting into some sort of shenanigans. And Phil Silver and Cesar Romero were always after him in every movie. um, yeah. Hey, Jared, how are you, sir? So, speaking of the '70s, you picked up something from Walmart today. Another blast from the past. What'd you get?
Yeah, this is the complete series of Kung Fu. And it was only $24.99. I couldn't believe it. I was scared to look at the price because I thought, oh my God, it's going to be like $100 or something.
Yeah, that is so cool. You know what? I'm gonna I like to sit here and tell you that I'm gonna dash out to my Walmart tomorrow and look for that. But I already know. I've been to my Walmart. My Walmart suck. They hardly have anything out. That's why I watch Ariel, Spice with Ariel. Now I'm watching you. You guys have all the good stuff. That's yeah. That was a fun show though. Kung Fu.
Yes.
Um.
My mom introduced me to it in the 70s. Well, late 70s because I was born in 76, but so probably the early 80s. Because he was always silent, and smart. She says he reminds me of me. She said he reminds me of me, and she said, but I don't like when he does all the yeah stuff.
I think for the most of us, actually, I dare say that I think for most of us, that was our introduction to Kung Fu, because they came out in the wake of Enter the Dragon, because Enter the Dragon came out in 1972 as well, or 72 or 70, I think 72.
Yeah, I
And
think it was.
yeah, and what a great show, and it's so well cast, and so many great guest stars in Kung Fu. Yeah, you're right, Mr. Dan. There were some really great guest stars on that show. Um, William Shatner popped up on there. Tim McIntyre showed up as his brother. Um, uh, Philip Bond and Key Luke. Just so many.
Harrison Ford, William Shatner.
Yep. Leslie Nielsen was on there.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. And it gave a lot of Asian actors um, a lot of roles, because Asians didn't have a lot of roles. They didn't get to do a lot of TV back then, and so a lot of them got roles on this show. And but what they didn't know, well, David Carradine knew this, but he didn't say anything. But David Carradine and the directors, the producers, oh, okay, he got the complete. Mr. Dan Hort got the complete Night Gallery series at Walmart. I'm gonna have to go back then, because I have not. I have to admit, I have not been to the one by me in a minute. I have two Walmarts. I have one. I have one that's I mean, I've been fortunate. I've actually found a couple of series at Walmart's, but they don't do them very much anymore. Um, I got the complete series of Vegas with Robert Urich, and then I got the complete series of Mutant X, which I really wish they had the complete series of Lost World, but that ain't gonna happen. Mr. Dan and Horace saying he's got the complete Night Gallery series at Walmart. That's a good series. Rod Serling, he came back. That was Night Gallery is more horror though. That was more horror than was like Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone was more science fiction fantasy. But Night Gallery, yeah. But David Carradine and the producers, they knew that they were only going to run the show for 3 years. They went into it knowing that. They said, we're only going to be on the air for. David Carradine says he's only going to do the show for 3 years. And so they knew that going in. But what they didn't do, they didn't tell any of the other cast or any of the crew. So they were totally, because Kung Fu was really well received. See, Amanda got the complete series of Tales from the Dark Side from Walmart. When did you guys get these? I mean, how long ago did you get these series? How many TV series? How many TV series do you have, Jennifer?
Oh my goodness, I have lost count.
Yeah,
I like just have the Golden Girls.
God, that's for me. I'm just sitting over here going like, I mean, I have a lot. I mean, I was trying to put them all. I was trying to put them all so they. I like to put them all so I could see them all so I could easier to get. But I like collecting like the one offers. You go there and just like. Like I got this at Recycle at this replay, and it's a show called Mercy. It only ran for 1 year. That's it. It ran just for the 1 year.
Oh,
But
wow.
they released it for the home market. But I picked it up.
And I've got all of the burn notices.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna send Hobbs some. I gotta send Hobbs some of those. I think I got the first 2 or 3 seasons duplicate. So I need to send those to Hobbs.
Yeah. That guy in the Hawaiian shirt, I know him from somewhere. I just
Okay, Mr. Dana Horror is he's got me going. He's got me already. Tomorrow I know what I'm going to be doing. Mr. Dana Horror got his Night Gallery collection a month ago. Okay, and Amanda got hers from last year, but she was at her Walmart the other day, and they had lots of TV series. So I guess I need to make a run. I need to go up there
mine
to see what they
do
got.
have a lot too.
I'm actually trying to get the collection. I'm trying to close out 2. I'm trying to close out Person of Interest. I need season 5, and I'm trying to close out the Last Ship, which I also need season 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Betty White's the only Golden Girl left now. Yep, she's also the only. She's actually the only Mary Tyler Moore person left too, as well.
Yeah.
Well, actually, technically, no. I take that back. Actually, there's 2. There's Betty White, and there's John Amos.
Oh.
Yeah. He played Gordy, the sportscaster, the first couple of years. Yep, but yeah, she's the only one. I think Richard Mulligan's gone
Yes,
from Empty Nest, but Christy McNichol and Diana Canova are still with us, and I think Park Overall is still with us. But Richard Mulligan was really good in that role. The first time I saw him,
one that I'm always looking for is Night Court. I want to finish that out.
I only got the first season. I found the first season, and I want to say that you could probably get the whole series on Mill Creek, except that when you get Mill Creek, you run the risk of not having the original music on it. because Mill Creek doesn't pay for the licensing for the music, which is
Yeah.
why if you watch Miami Vice or Bonanza and stuff like that, all the music's really different. Like if you watch Miami Vice, all those big songs that you remember playing on a Mill Creek collection, they won't have them on there because they don't want to pay for the licensing. That's actually the reasons why one of the most popular shows has never gotten a home release, and that is Cold Case, because Cold Case got centered around a case, and they also centered around one song. It's just a lot of songs during that period, and so it's just a nightmare. It's just absolutely nightmare because there's so many songs. They play so many songs on the show, and now you have to go back. You have to get the releases from all those. You have to negotiate all that. And I guess to the manufacturer, to CBS, it just wasn't worth it. But yeah, Golden Girls. Yeah, that's a fun show. Let's see, Walmart has the complete series of Tales from the Crypt. That's where I'm gonna have to go there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna go there tomorrow. That's crazy.
Some of them can be up to like $100, each for the full collection. That's why I was scared to look at Kung Fu.
Kung Fu that's a really good price though. $24.98. That's a really good price. You really got a good deal there.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the older ones, the longer than like Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, I can see that being a little bit more pricier because it's probably a little bit more demand. Night Gallery would probably be like $24.98. I can see that. Golden Girls probably a little bit more because it lasts a little bit longer. But Tales from the Crypt is very hot, very popular even now, and I can see that being a little bit pricey. Tales from the Dark Side, that would probably be like yeah, I was gonna say 69. That's why I would say yeah. That's what I would think higher. It's people really like that show still. It's very much still in demand. People see it even with the so-called death on physical media. People still want to buy. They still want to buy collections. They still want to buy season series.
Yes.
Now yeah. Now the thing is, though, it's like, oh, okay. Eric just mentioned, he just said that I finally got the final season of Quantum Leap on DVD. One of my all-time favorite shows. Yes, yes. I think that got released. I think that got a Mill Creek release too, which is cool because Mill Creek their prices their releases are much lower than the studio. So let's say, for example, Tales of the Crypt is released by HBO for $69. Mill Creek might be able to release it for something like $48 or $49. They can lower it, but like I said, part of the catch is you might not hear some of the music inside the Mill Creek release. Yeah, I know Quantum Leap is a very popular show.
Dean Stockwell made it that way. Oh my goodness. Every time he'd pop in there, I'd be so happy.
Yeah, Scott Bakula. It was funny because Scott Bakula, that was his first TV series, and he did such a nice job with it.
Yeah.
That show had so much. A lot of it was so much fun. Had a lot of light moments in it, and which is really disappointing for us Star Trek fans because he got the role in Enterprise, and you're thinking, all right, yeah, and then holy shit, he played every single episode of Enterprise like it was, like it was Hamlet or Chekhov. It was just really, really heavy. Everything he did was like, there was no light moments. Hey, Sean, how much did you pay for your Quantum Leap, Eric? Yeah, some of these shows are out of print. The ones that are out of print, whew, their seasons are pricey. Ooh. I have not been to Disc Replay in a minute. I really need to do that. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, Disc Replay is my go-to when I go for TVs. When I go to Disc Replay, that's where I go to collect for TV series. I don't go there for movies because they're overpriced. I just go there for that's where I get my TV movie. That's where I get my TV series at. I try not to pay anything more than between $3.99 and $4.99. Used to drive Catfish crazy. He used to sit there and say, "Why don't you pay a little bit more?" And I'm like, "Why? I don't need to. You know, if I can go in there and I can pay $3.99 for a season, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because seasons are not cheap."
No, they're not.
Yeah, he got the final season of Quantum Leap for $15. That's very fair. That's really fair.
Oh, no.
We got sticker shocked when we saw the first season of Netflix Daredevil. We saw that at Walmart, and we went over and looked at it, and it had like 13 episodes on it, but they were charging like almost $40 for it. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. The same thing they did that with Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch. Now they released 3 movies. That's 3 movies is one of their seasons. So they say season 3 of Sherlock. It's just 3. It's just 3 movies, but they're charging you like $24 for that, and it was just like that's a little bit. That's really expensive. That Tales from the Dark Side is a great set. The individual DVD seasons are out of print, but I think some of them are still available on Hamilton Book. That's where I got the final 2 seasons from. Yeah, Hamilton Book's not bad. I actually got a couple of series from them. I picked up Haunted from Hamilton Book. I watched that and I reviewed it with Matthew Fox. I watched that and reviewed it. Gosh, I take up a lot of my series too from the library. I picked up quite a few there too.
Have you found any Seth Rogen films there lately?
Man, Seth Rogen. Oh. we should do a bottom 20 Seth Rogen movies. The worst movies that he's in, because we can't do a top 10 because he sucks. But we can do a top.
I like Seth Rogen.
He sucks. Seth Rogen is just no. Hey dude, I'm the Green Hornet. He plays practically the same guy in every movie too. I get him, and you know what it is? Him and Jonah Hill, they could be brothers from another mother. They could almost be twins.
I like him too.
Oh no, I don't mind Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill's funny. I mean, he's funny. Michael Cera is funny. Let's see. Sean says he hasn't bought anything out in the wild in a long time, but I think I'm going to a local flea market and this weekend. Yeah, I've only restricted myself. See, this is why I love Amanda so much. Amanda, I agree. I don't like Seth Rogen's movies. I don't like Seth Rogen movies. No, I don't. That guy's just okay, Jennifer. Let's put it this way. What if Seth Rogen, knowing how Seth Rogen is, what if he did a remake of Revenge of the Nerds, and he played Booger?
No. Mm-mm.
Why? Wouldn't you want him playing Booger?
No.
Now everybody notice Jennifer, notice how her reaction is right there. See how you're reacting there right there, Jennifer? That's exactly how I felt. That's exactly how I felt when they said that Seth Rogen was going to be the Green Hornet. I was like, well, what? Just no. Just absolutely no. No. Let me say it slowly so everybody can hear it. No. Thank you, John C. McGinley. No. Seth is like Will Ferrell to me.
First of all, Revenge of the Nerds cannot be remade nowadays. Second, nobody can replace Curtis Armstrong.
Mm-hmm. No one can replace Van Williams or Bruce Lee.
True.
Let's see. Sean says, I like Seth Rogen, but I don't hate the guy. I'm just whatever about the dude. But I always liked him since Freaks and Geeks. I also don't watch many comedies and stuff like that anymore. Sean, you got to watch more comedy. You have to watch more comedies. In fact, this is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking comedy today. Because comedy is life.
No.
This is really weird. I know this is not true. It's saying that there's only 2 people in the chat, but I know it's not true. Unless Hobbs fell asleep. Quick, someone throw a donut out there and see if Hobbs is still here. I don't think. Oh, Hobbs left us. I'm typing in. He left us. You know where Hobbs went to. He went over to Elm Street. He went over to watch the Elm Street live stream. I'm with you, Eric, about that. With Seth Rogen and Will Ferrell. I like Will Ferrell. I like Will Ferrell too, but I think what really snapped, I liked him, but I think what really ended it for me. And this is a precursor to what happened. But the one thing I really did not like, I just couldn't understand why he took this role on. I don't see how he thought it was funny, but was in Wedding Crashers. He played the one guy who was, he used to crash weddings. He was the one that Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson looked up to, and then as being the Chaz, he played Chaz, and then he started crashing funerals. I cannot tell you how distasteful that was watching it then, and how utterly distasteful it is now. That was insulting, quite honestly. Highly offensive. I just didn't like that at all. I don't see how anybody could think that would be funny. And I was just sitting there watching Will Ferrell, and I'm just like, dude, don't you have any professional pride? Don't you sit there and say, you know what? Like, I don't mind playing a basketball owner. I don't mind, going to, being Frank the Tank. I don't mind those roles, but you know what? Having me crash a funeral in order to get, and tread on somebody's grief in order to score a girl, and people think that's funny. Yeah. And that was the end of that for me with Will Ferrell. Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that was really bad. Holmes and Watson. Oh, I heard that just crashed and burned. Yeah, nobody liked that. See, Sean says, so closely he'll get to watching comedies more often if I watch The Burbs every day. Hey, Jared, thanks for sticking around. Yep, Jared's still here. I don't know what it is. It's just somebody sitting there going like, you only got like 2 people in here. Well, like, I know I got more than 2 people. Mr. Bones is in the house. But speaking of comedies, I mean, this is a perfect segue. What we wanted to talk about a little bit more is Joe the HORRORman actually put out a video. He put out a video, and he talked about spicy 80s sex comedies. And he was talking about some of the movies that were spicy. And I thought about it and went like, hell yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good topic, like, because the 80s and the 90s, they had a lot of spiciness to it. I think the 80s probably a little bit more than the 90s, but there's some spicy comedies. And I said, and since I didn't have anything up my sleeve for tonight, I asked Jennifer, says, why don't we talk about those comedies, because there's some really great ones. So so some comedies. What are some of your favorite 80s and 90s comedies? Chat. Throw some names out there. Throw some of the funniest movies that some of your go-tos. Like if you want, if you're in a mood for a crack up comedy, what do you watch from the 80s and 90s? I do suspect, Jennifer, that we'll, since we're so close to Halloween, since we're so close to October, I do suspect we'll be seeing a lot of people post up trading places because oh, nerds. That's that's my pie.
You've got Bush.
Take your hands off that boy, or what? You asshole. The Dean was great. The Dean was funny as hell. His laugh was classic. So we thought we'd talk a little bit 80s comedies, like some of our favorites, because there's so many of them. Vacation. Yeah, that's a good one, Amanda. Now, Vacation was Vacation was it wasn't quite super spicy, but it did have Christy Brinkley in it back in her heyday. Holy cow, there's a ton of comedies there. Christy Brinkley, when she came out there in the red Ferrari, ooh, man. Yeah, Sports Illustrated magazine's sales increased every February because they would do the swimsuit issue, and Christy Brinkley was massively popular. She was everybody really enjoyed looking at Christy Brinkley. The Naked Gun films, yeah, based on the Police Squad. Police Squad's so silly. Police Squad. Police Squad deserved like a run like Gilligan Island got, because that series was so damn funny. Yeah, I love Vacation. We mentioned that last week when we were talking about our John Hughes our rankings. That John Candy was in Vacation. He played one of the two guards from Wally World. I forgot who the other one was. Was that Rick Moranis played the other guard? Maybe.
No.
Okay.
He was a black guy.
Okay.
I don't remember his name.
The Naked Guns were really fun movies too. Nestle Nielsen. The second one was probably my favorite one, with Priscilla Presley and Ricardo Montalban. Ricardo Montalban played the villain. That was a lot of fun. Oh, and Police Squad was great. Every episode they have and the guest star, and then show the guest star getting killed in the opening credits. Tonight's special guest star, Robert Goulet, and then you see him get shot at get executed. It's just like, damn. Yeah, that was pretty spicy. They had some really cute scenes in there, and Police Squad. That was PG-13. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, we talked about John Candy. I don't know I don't think he ever did any. I don't think he ever did any saucy, sassy teen comedies. I mean, all his were pretty much rooted. They're all like PG-13 type stuff. Oh no, take it back. He did Stripes. Dewey Oxberger. Remember the? He had that. Oh, you hurt me. Are you okay? I'm sorry. And then she clocked his ass. His big old paws and paw on the girl's chest. That was Rick Moranis. Rick Moranis was the play-by-play person in that. That's where he was, Rick Moranis. I knew I'd seen him in there. Let's see. Yeah. Some of the better 80s sex comedies, though. I mean, God, there's so many of them. I think what most people actually really truly do when they think of, like the spicy 80s sex comedies, I think the first thing everybody thinks of right away is Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Not me.
Uh, not
It,
you, Jennifer.
no, it was. It came. It like. We used to live in this really old 3-story house that had vents, so you could hear everybody. And all of a sudden, for like 2 weeks, all I could hear was Porky's. Porky's. We've got to go see it. We've got to go see it. It's like, and that's and since I heard that, I said, I've got to see that. I've got to see that. And when I finally did see that, I was like, whoa.
No, it's funny. It's funny. Risky Business. Yes, I saw Risky Business the same day I saw Return of the Jedi. We went and saw Return of the Jedi, and then we snuck out and went saw Risky Business afterwards. Meatballs is my favorite Bill Murray movie. My favorite Bill Murray comedy is Meatballs.
That's from the 70s,
even today is my favorite. It's that's a perfect movie for me. It not only is it funny, it's really cute. I love the fact that Bill Murray. I mean, I know I'm gonna get some blowback on this, so go ahead. I'm ready for it. But seriously, I have never seen a leading man get cast with such a non-leading lady actor as the one that he got with Meatballs. That the girl that he got, that his girlfriend that played the actress that played his girlfriend in Meatballs.
She was a tomboy, a black-haired.
Yes, she was like a carpenter's dream, flat as a board. She was like a pirate. She was a pirate. With a sunken chest. She was funny, but it was like, how that was like no one thought about giving him a more of a I don't know. It was just weird. It was like still it was weird. But that movie had a lot of heart to it. And that's really what I remember from Meatballs. Yes, a lot of the slapstick. It was funny all the way out. But the relationship that Tripper had with that young boy, Christopher Makepeace, was really good. He'd been bullied, he'd been picked on, he'd been isolated, and then Bill Murray just took him underneath his arm, underneath his wing, and really, was his friend. I mean, really was his friend, and it was such a great performance.
And then in part 3, Rudy comes back, but a different actor plays him, Patrick Dempsey.
Right. Yeah, Patrick Dempsey was busy during the 80s, wasn't he? I mean, he did some sassy stuff. He did Meatball 3, which had a lot of nudity in it. And then he did Loverboy. I think there was slight nudity in that. I think, I'm not sure, but that had at a time it had some really big name actors.
Basically a gigolo.
Yeah, there was a lot of big name actresses in there at that time of that movie came out. Yeah. Like Kate Jackson was in it. I want to say Tia Carrere was in it.
Yes.
And then he did a movie called the Woo Woo Kid, based on a true story.
The Woo Woo Kid. I'm gonna write this down.
Let's see. Sean says The Burbs is my idea of a perfect comedy. Yeah, I think a perfect comedy to me is one that it's like, that's what I love about the American Pie movies. I mean, those movies are raunchy, but they have a lot of heart. They have a lot of heart in them. I mean, you like everybody in the movie. There's not a single person that you don't like. I mean, even Stifler. I mean, he just saw him as just being yeah, he was Stifler, but he really wasn't that bad of a guy. I mean, he was just, especially when they showed him taking drinking that special beer. I mean, how could you hate the guy? You had to feel sorry for him because he was like, yeah, yeah. And then he's like,
He's a bully that you gotta like.
right,
I've never had that happen in a movie.
yeah. I mean, and it's really cool the way they developed that was, it went from like the three main guys being sort of on the outside, though seeing Chris Klein as that was sort of hard because he was so popular. But everybody was. It seemed like Stifler was in the in crowd, and the other three were the other four were sort of in the outside. But as you went on with the series, you really see that Stifler really wanted to be with those guys. He really felt like he was the one that was on the outside, and he really loved his friends. I mean, American Pie Wedding. I mean, holy shit! That wedding, the dance off scene where he's trying to get Jim. I mean, how awesome was that? I remember watching that scene in the theater, and everybody was laughing and cheering that scene. They thought that was just an absolutely perfect scene. It was hilarious, and it showed Stifler's heart. It's like, look, I could be funny. I can call everybody shipbreak. I can call myself you know, uh, uh, the stiff meister. But when it came down to taking care of his friends, he was willing to, he saw what he was willing to do for it. Um, Secret Admirer, yeah, that's another great '80s classic. Kelly Preston, I believe, was in that.
And you know what? Porky's 3, Porky's Revenge, is what got me to go see Shakespeare plays.
Really?
That's scary.
Now, I would have to sit there and say, for me, wow. I mean, I've seen some Shakespeare plays before, but I tell you, one of my favorite comedies from the '90s, um, one of my favorite movies. I have to make sure. I don't know why I have not even bought this yet, which I really totally do not understand, because it's absolutely one of my favorite films, and I have yet to go get it. Um, but I want to say, I'm trying to remember where it came out. I'm trying to remember if it came out in the '90s or the 2000s. Um, uh, let's see. I want to say it came out in the night uh, in the '90s. The one with Kenneth Branagh. I want it came out in the '90s because I saw it it came out in the '90s because I saw it at the camera theaters. That was a joyful movie. That one had Keanu Reeves in it, and it had Michael Keaton, the playing Dogberry. He was hilarious in that movie.
Oh.
I had Kenneth Branagh and Emma Thompson and Denzel Washington. Uh, that was a great movie. Kate Beckinsale, that was her first role. Kate Beckinsale from the Underworld movies, she played Hero. That was her first role. Uh,
And in the 90s too, I noticed that all the people that were, another series I have is the In Living Color series.
mm-hmm.
Everybody was like getting famous from In Living Color, like Tommy Davidson and Damon Wayans and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jim Carrey. Yeah. That's what I enjoyed, because I had watched that series since season 1, and have loved it ever since.
Austin Powers is being mentioned. Austin Powers is definitely very funny, very funny. Um, that was that was hilarious. That was a funny. He got a perfect parody for that. I think he went to the well one too many times with that.
Yeah.
With Goldmember. Um, I think he went to the well one too many times, and yeah, talk about typecasting. We are talking about typecasting earlier. Your favorite actors get stuck in the same role. Like Will Ferrell's like that. Will Ferrell basically plays the same guy in every movie now. Um, Ryan Reynolds is the same guy in every movie. We were talking about that, and I was talking about that in another stream. We're talking about the comic book movies, and they're saying how they're going to bring Deadpool into the MCU, and I was just sitting there going like, you can't bring him in. You cannot bring him in. He can't. You have to recast. You have to recast him. If you try to bring him in, it just won't work. Because Ryan Reynolds is, basically because they never thought that Deadpool, as they made it, they never thought the character would ever be in the MCU. So they were as irrelevant and as dismissive as they could get, and they played it for laughs. Calling the actors by their real names or looking at breaking the fourth wall. I mean, if you look at the Deadpool movies, they're just absolutely they are a slapstick comedy. It's a Three Stooges movie about superheroes. But that being said, now you can't bring that character into the MCU because he's ruined it. No fault of Ryan Reynolds, because that, like I said, who would ever thought that they would actually have a chance to bring the character into it. Now it's either now you have to go to Ryan Reynolds and sit there and say, listen, you can't play him the way you did. If we cast you as this, you have to play this straight. You could be fun, you could be funny, but you cannot be nearly as what you were with the other two movies. And the thing is, though, Ryan Reynolds has shown that he has no range. He has basically he's played himself for so long that I can't remember a Ryan Reynolds movie where he wasn't Ryan Reynolds, where he wasn't the same character. Same thing with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is generally the same guy. Seth
Definitely,
Rogen.
maybe. Have you seen that movie with Ryan Reynolds? Definitely, maybe.
Yeah, I did, and that was like that was early in his career. That was early in his career, and he was really good, and he was strong in that. He did that movie Buried. I think he did one other one too with Sandra Bullock, but those were all early in his career. All his big success now has been by doing Ryan Reynolds, The Hitman's Bodyguard, the Blade Trinity, the Deadpool movies, Free Guy. Those are all just Two Guns. Those are basically all just Ryan. Oh, not Two Guns, but what else did he do? He did something else. I think he played a little bit, maybe a little edgier. I could be wrong about this, but a movie he did with Denzel called Safe House. But he basically plays the same guy. He basically plays himself. And I just think it's really bad. Oh, good. I was hoping that someone had saw Shanghai, Shang-Chi. I'm excited for it. Yeah, see, Detective Pikachu is like kind of like a kid-friendly version of Deadpool. That's my whole point. That's exactly my point. Is that can he break off from playing himself, because now he's been so successful doing that he is not being challenged creatively. Will Ferrell has not been challenged creatively in forever. If I think some of these actors they need to go and do something daring. Do
I
something
almost
more
think
dramatic.
that nobody will give him a chance.
Well, I think it's up to him. I think it's up to Ryan Reynolds. He has enough clout now that he could do whatever he wants. If like they showed. I saw the preview for that new Netflix movie he's doing, Code Red or something like that. He's doing that with The Rock and Gail Gadot. Guess what? It's Ryan Reynolds. He's not doing anything new. He's not bringing anything new to the party. He's doing the same shtick, and it's like, why it's like he needs something like Definitely Maybe again. That's what he needs. That's what he needs. Hey Joe. Hey Joe, would you like to come up on the panel? We're about ready to get into some 80 comedies. We'd like to have you come up if you like to. Definitely would like to have you come up.
We want to see your blurry face.
Yeah, bring your blurry face up. Let me go get the link for him. I just don't know how if he got talked out after Friday or not. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let me know when you're ready to come out, Joe, and I'll send you the link. So some of the other 80s movies I remember watching when I was in the 80s, because I was an 80s kid. I remember watching, there was a studio called Crown International. Crown International used to play some of the sauciest of the comedies. If you saw Crown International, you knew one thing for sure. If you were a guy, you were going to see some boobies on that movie. I think that the only one that did not show boobies that I can remember is My Chauffeur. And it's My Chauffeur. I think that's the only one that I saw that I can remember. They didn't show like the main star's boobies. But what I think is
kind of too sweet and cute for
which
me.
one? Oh, My Chauffeur. Yeah. Okay, so the first movie, the first 80s movies I remember, as far as that goes, was this movie called Private Lessons. You remember that one?
No.
Oh man, that was like every guy, and it's hilarious. So this starred an actress named Sylvia Christel, and she was a European actress, and she had gotten famous by doing the series of movies called Emmanuel. Emmanuel goes to Paris. Emmanuel does Brazil. Emmanuel this, and she was a really pretty girl. She's a beautiful girl, beautiful lady, but she was huge over in Europe. But they wanted to break her in here in America, so they cast her in this movie called Private Lessons, and it starred her, and she plays this maid who is being blackmailed into seducing the son of the rich family that they work for, because the chauffeur, who's played by Howard Hessman, he wants to get money. He wants to get some money and get out of there. So he's working with the maid, Mallow. Her name is Mallow. That's a weird name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because she wants to come over and immigrate here, and she's here illegally. And so Howard Hessman blackmails her. He says, "Unless you help me, I'm going to turn you into immigration." So what I want you to do is you have to seduce the boy, because I'm going to blackmail him. And so what he does, she seduces him, and then it looks like they were having intercourse, and then in the throes of passion, she dies. And so that's where Howard Hessman's character comes in there and blackmails him, a kid named Philly. He blackmails Philly to, you better give me money or else I'll tell that you killed this woman. So he's it's a really rambunctious movie, and the scene stealer, the scene stealer was Ed Begley Jr. He plays he fakes playing a cop. Oh my God, he steals the whole movie. He's hilarious. Uh, yes, Emmanuel series. They had a lot of different actresses play it, but they were they were basically early softcore porn.
Yeah, that's what it
But
sounded like.
yeah, yeah. But the movie was really cute. The Private Lessons was really cute. It was like probably the first '80s true '80s comedy. And yes, the boy ended up scoring with Mallow in the end. So yay. So that was like the spark of that. And then and then it came out with another movie that me and Joe had talked about that we both really liked, and that was a movie called My Tutor. And that movie was really that movie was that movie was really sweet. Had Karen Kay in it, and
Yeah.
and the thing about these movies is they had a lot of nudity in it, but they also weren't just like they weren't just full of nobodies. There were actually some stars in it, like um, this way. Karen Kay had become a TV star. She had done Blansky's Beauties and a bunch of other movies, and the gentleman who ended up playing her love interest was a gentleman named Matt Lazzanti. He ended up marrying Olivia Newton-John,
Oh wow.
and his father was Kevin McCarthy, who played the big role in the first Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he played the father, and so he hires Karen Kay to get his son into UCLA, to pass his French test. And so those two end up falling in love and whatnot. But yeah, that movie was spicy for its time. For its time, I mean, it was a surprise. It was a surprise. Everybody's like surprised to see Karen Kay actually do a topless scene. So there was a lot of fellas at the theater when that movie came out. But it was a good movie, and again, it had a happy ending. They ended up being with each other at the end, and then she went on to do something else, and he got into college and met a girl his own age.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like I said, it has some heart. Of course, there's just some that are just straight out silliness. uh, hot
Joystick.
dog the movie, remember that one?
I have it on VHS.
Yeah, that movie was silly as hell. um That one had David Naughton from American Werewolf in London.
Yes, it
Hey,
did.
Vincent. Let's see. Jared mentioning says he's heard of the Emmanuel because there's a series of British comedy films called the Carry On series, and there was one film in that series called Carry On Emmanuel. Yeah, that's funny as hell. Um, oh yeah, one crazy summer. Better Off Dead. That's a couple of classic '80s for us. Um, Better Off
You're
Dead.
saying joysticks.
Huh?
Joysticks.
Joysticks. Uh, but Hot Dog the movie, I want to say that came on after. I want to say that came after American Werewolf in London.
Yes, it did, because he was older.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was older when that was made, eh?
yeah. I don't know. I really truly don't understand what happened to him. Why didn't he get propelled? He should have. David Naughton should have been a big star.
He should have.
He really should have. He really never. I mean, Griffin Dunn had a better career than he did. If you really look at it, Griffin Dunn had a much better career, bigger career than he did.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I couldn't figure that one out because he had it all. And I never heard any, like you hear rumors about this person or that person, bad habits or whatnot. But I don't really ever remember hearing anything like that about David Naughton. It's just like I guess it was weird. It's like one day he was, sliced bread, and the next day he was moldy bread. Everybody wanted them, and then nobody wanted them. But that was a fun movie. Hot Dog the movie. That was fun. Of course, the one movie you and I talked about, Jennifer, before the show went on, we're talking about The Last American Virgin. Now that is the probably the most polarizing '80s teen comedy ever. I mean, there's no movie in the whole 1980s, hell, not even now, 1980s that was anything like The Last American Virgin. Nothing like it. No, I think David Naughton is pronounced Newton, like in Fig Newton.
Oh.
I think so. Is it David Newton? Naughton? McNaughton?
I don't know who it is. I've just have always said Naughton. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Hobbs is so he's saying is so Naughton pronounced Norton in the U. Hobbs is going to give us. Hobbs is, he is not only is he the Pumpkin King, but he is king of the '80s archives. So he'll tell us. You say Naughton like you say Naughton. It's Norton. Okay, so David Norton.
Okay.
Okay, like Ed Norton. David Norton. Okay, I never heard of that. I thought it was Naughton. David Norton.
Thank you for joining us, Hobbs.
Yeah. Even though we know that you slipped out of the chat earlier because we were checking in on you, and rumors has it you were stuck over at the you were over moonlighting of the Elm Street stream. So that was the Last American Virgin. I mean, what did you think about when you saw that? Everybody, I mean, anybody who saw The Last American Virgin, what did you think about that movie? Hell, you could do a whole live stream just on that movie on its own, because that was such a bizarre movie. Such a bizarre movie. Hobbs says, I said Naughton, you said Norton. Norton! Norton, get over here, Norton! Hobbs says he was eating. He was there before the show. Okay. I don't know. We checked. Did you have pumpkin pie? Do you think he slides into pumpkin pie mode in September?
Yes.
Yes, we are too. We are too, Joe. That's what we were talking about before. Yeah, The Last American Virgin is polarizing because it's such a damn schizophrenic movie. It's a schizophrenic movie. I mean, not even. I mean, it had a similar. It had a similar theme in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, when that young guy, he goes and pays for Jennifer Lee her abortion, but it still ended on a bit of a high note. It wasn't like a doom and gloom. Whereas Last American Virgin, that movie ends on such a depressing way.
It does, and it's like when you see an '80s comedy, you want it to end happy.
They did, yeah, you're right. I mean, oh hell, like I said, I cannot remember another comedy that ended like The Last American Virgin, where it was funny all the way up to the last 5 minutes, and then it was just like, then it was just absolutely like, holy shit, slams the door on your face,
What the hell?
Let's see. I know that Diane Franklin, that was her big role. there were some other people in that movie. I don't think none of them really pop too much. And it is called a comedy drama. I mean, it is listed as a comedy drama. So that's good. I mean, at least it's not, no, it's not called a straight comedy, because it certainly is not. Let's see what else. Oh gosh, yes. Okay. We had Last Resort. That was another funny one. That had Charles Grodin in it. Charles Grodin was hilarious, and everything he did, it was funny.
Just one of the guys. Just one of the guys.
Yeah, sometimes he played against type too. Charles Grodin. I mean,
yeah.
Remember he did King Kong in '76,
mm-hmm.
and that was totally against what his type. I mean, he was like, he played it. He was not a nice person.
No.
Joe saying that he loves Diane Franklin. Yeah, but not at the end of that movie. He didn't. Yeah, she sort of deserved the kick in the butt.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here that we can mention that just stands out.
One for me is Hunk.
Hunk?
Yeah. Hunk.
Who was in that one?
John Allen Nelson.
Okay. Yeah.
If I can remember her name. It's about Bradley Brinkman, who sells his soul to the devil to get a good computer program in. And he gets, all of a sudden, his big, huge, amazing computer starts working and writes it out for him. And it's called the Yuppie program. And so he goes out to the beach, and the devil has a sexy lady come out and turn him into the perfect blonde-haired, Speedo-wearing hunk. So lots of TNA.
Oh my! Wow. Now, do you think that they gave the ladies as much as they gave the guys? Because every time we go over there watch a movie, we see some boobies. But there wasn't always a whole lot of male nudity, because they're like, I don't know. I don't think anybody wants to see some guy's ass on the screen. But we'll go ahead and throw the girls' boobies up there.
They showed a lot of they showed off his body a lot in his Speedo, and that made me happy. Mm-hmm. Speedos make me happy.
Speedos make Jennifer happy. Okay, so there you better be careful. You might get some Speedos sent to you in the mail. Hobbs is sitting there going, "No male peepees." So Hobbs is sitting there basically saying that he is not a fan of the prying game. He's mentioned some movies: High School USA, The All Nighter, and Gotcha the movie. I'm going back. I'm going to circle back and talk about the one that I remember you mentioned earlier. This was a little bit more spicy too. I mean, as far as action goes, but that was Porky's. Porky's ended up, being a little bit more. Had a little bit more of a. I mean, it was funny. It was, but it had the ending. The last fight they had, that was a little bit sticky. It was rough. It was a. But the only thing I knew about Porky's when I watched it, when it came out, I didn't know anything about this movie. Didn't know anything. because I hadn't seen Black Christmas or anything else like that. I didn't know any. The only person I knew in that whole cast, and only because of Monday Night Football, or was Alex Karras. That was it. That's the only person I knew in the whole damn movie. And I didn't know anybody else in it, so I watched it on cable. It was just like, oh, I remember him. Yeah, okay. But that was that had Kim Cattrall in it.
Yes, it did.
That was one of the. That was one of the.
Oh, Lassie.
Right. Whenever she would have sex, she would howl like a dog. I wasn't, I know they pushed it, I know they pushed it with the Porky's 2 the next day, and they really pushed it on Porky's 3, and I think Porky's Revenge.
Porky's Revenge.
I think everybody was over it by that time.
And then in 2000 something, they made Pee-wee's Pee-wee something. I don't remember what it was. I didn't even watch it.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
No, it was about the Pee-wee from Porky's.
Oh, right. Dan Monahan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that guy got typecast bad.
Yeah. But in Porky's, you did see male.
Now I have to sit there and say, because no one's mentioned it yet, and I'm sure that once we do, we'll open this can of whoop ass here. But I know that when people think of 80 sex comedies, the first person as far as the girls go, if you ask a guy, what's the one girl you think of when you think of the 80s? They're all gonna, okay, look, I'll even say it. I won't say nothing, but I'll sit there and say, what's the one girl you think of when you think of the 80s? Wow. Okay. What's the one girl you think of first when you think of 80s sex comedies? Yeah, I remember Kim Cattrall in Police Academy for sure.
I know.
I already know what they're all gonna say.
Does it start with an L?
Nope. There's the horror man, right on time. Right on time. Okay. So the first girl that people always mention in the 80s, yep, there's Hobbs. They always think of Phoebe Cates from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh,
now,
man.
Phoebe Cates is absolutely stone cold gorgeous. I'll give you that. I mean, she really is. She's yeah. But I love Betsy Russell more. I think Betsy Russell was all over Phoebe. She both. I tell you one thing, but both those ladies, they age beautifully. They look just as good today as they did back then. I mean, holy crow. But I love this movie called Private School. So it came out in 1983.
She sings in it.
In Private School?
Yeah.
I believe so. Mm-hmm. Her dad got killed on Christmas by gremlins. So I loved Private School. I thought Private School was so much fun. It was raunchy. It was definitely fun. And I learned that Betsy Russell can ride a horse gloriously. Put Betsy Russell on a horse and it's like, yikes. Let's see. Yeah, he does more than sing it. Yeah.
When I think of 80s comedies, I think of Linnea Quigley. Because she did a lot of those comedies.
Yeah, she did. Yes, but I'm talking about as far as beautiful, as far as like Linnea Quigley. Yes, but Phoebe Cates was just absolutely just gorgeous, and so was Betsy Russell. I mean, they were stunning. And yeah, you gotta give Phoebe credit. I mean, like they said, I mean, people, a lot of the VHS holders, tape readers said that when they get their movies back. In fact, I do think this is where the Be Kind Rewind came from, is because so many people were not rewinding their Fast Times at Ridgemont High movie because they were locked in on the scene where she's coming topless.
Yeah.
But Phoebe Cates is the same way. I mean, yeah, okay. I was glad when it came on cable because then I wouldn't have to ruin a tape. Uh, all the Omega moves from Revenge of the Nerds. Is that the girls from the girl side? Omega moves.
Yeah, from the
Third side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the cheerleaders, the other ones.
No, yeah. The one where the girl almost beat Ogre and he sat there and cried. Yeah, so Phoebe Cates but Phoebe Cates did not appear nude in Private School. She did not appear nude. No, she did not do a nude scene in that. As far as I know, and someone can correct me here, I believe Phoebe Cates only did the one nude scene for Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I believe that too. Yeah.
Yeah. But Betsy Russell did. She did Private School, Avenging Angel, like a couple more. She did. She was not afraid to show off the boobies. And after that, here's another tidbit. Betsy Russell actually joined one of the most popular horror franchises ever, and she joined Saw. She played Tobin Bell's John Kramer's wife or ex-wife.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Paradise. She was nude in Paradise, full frontal. God, please tell me that Willie Ames wasn't showing full frontal. But in Private School, she actually hooked up with Matthew Modine. That was one of his earliest roles. She did that. She did that with Matthew Modine, Michael Zirk. That guy was hilarious. He was funny as hell in that.
Yeah.
Yep. I believe Sylvia Christel was in Private School as well. I believe she actually was in that. They're still trying to break her in. Let's see if I'm right about that. I believe Sylvia Christel was there. Let's see, Fran Ryan. Wow, Kathleen Wilholt was in there. That's right, I remember her. She was in there. Yep, and Sylvia Christel was there. Yep, Miss Copuletta. Ray Walston. That's right, Ray Walston was in that. He played the chauffeur, and he got together with Fran Ryan. That was hilarious. Let's see. Yeah, there's some sassiness in that movie. I forgot about that.
But Betsy Russell, man, she was looking fine in Avenging Angel. Ooh.
Shit, yeah. Hell yeah.
Even I will admit that.
And Tomboy, she was looking strong in Tomboy too, looking really good.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. Joe saying, if he did, I blocked it out. Don't want to see Willie's hanging, huh? We Willie hanging. I don't blame you for that. Nobody wants to see that. So yeah, I still hold. Well, my favorite 80s actress for the 80s would be Karen Kay. That would be my first. Betsy Russell would be my second, and then Phoebe Cates would be my third. But I always, and of course, then we come down to your favorite movie, Revenge of the Nerds. You had a very hot girl in your movie, though, too.
Yes.
Let's see. I can't remember her name. I have to go look at it.
Neither can I.
Okay, that would be that's a strong movie. Julia Montgomery.
Yeah.
Julia Montgomery is Betty Childs. Yep. Donald Gibb, ogre. Yeah.
Which he did that thing too. That um that happened in American Pie. He turned into a good character.
Oh right. Oh Don. Oh, in the future, in the movies afterwards. Yeah. Oh, I remember the first time I really saw Donald Gibb, like I knew who he was. I remember was Bloodsport. He was pretty badass in that movie.
Yeah, he was.
He was pretty badass. He should have took a page from John Saxon though, and just fucking killed Bolo when he had a chance. But he didn't. See, if he would have watched Enter the Dragon, he would have saw John Saxon kick his ass.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hey Slay, how are you? We are talking 80s and 90s sex comedies. I know on a horror stream. The horror, but yeah, we're talking. So, what makes Revenge of the Nerds so good for you, Jennifer? I mean, what makes it your favorite movie? I mean, I know it's your favorite movie of all time.
It's just, it starts out getting picked on, put down, and living in the gym, and because the a-hole jocks have kicked them out, and you see the principal is, the president of the university's a total wimp, and
At first,
yeah,
he does bring the noise later on.
yeah, and you see them, the nerds start to fit in and start to kick ass. Not literally kick ass, but
No, some of them lick. Oh, okay, well.
and at the end of the movie, they have won. They have people on their sides, you know. And then We Are the Champion starts, and you get me crying every time.
How about Betty? How about Betty saying, "I'm in love with a nerd." And when he plays Darth Vader and he puts that Darth Vader hat, and afterwards she goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, you never made me feel that way before a stand." And all of a sudden he says, takes off the hat. She goes, "I'm in love with a nerd."
All jocks think about is football. All nerds think about is sex.
That's right. Now, yeah, that's just a classic movie. That's just fun. No, I hope they don't ever remake that movie. I do. That's one of the movies that they does not need to be remade.
They couldn't, you know.
But if they did though, I definitely think Seth Rogen would be a fine booger. I'm just kidding.
I
Just
know.
kidding. Oh my God, no.
There's only
Seth Rogen.
one booger. There's only one booger.
Do you ever does he ever do social media? Do you follow him like on Instagram or anything like that? Does he talk on social media?
He's a very private person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, you guys talk on Sunday nights on the phone?
No.
Oh, okay.
I wish.
Um, All right, so let's talk about another movie. We're talking about a list here. We're going to down because these are some of the funniest movies, and they're hilarious. And this one here is very appropriate since it's so close to Halloween. Though I don't think it's like a teen sex comedy. So I mean, it may not fit our what we're talking about, but it's still funny as hell. And that's Trading Places. Trading Places is absolutely funny as hell. That movie is probably the best Dan Aykroyd. For Dan Aykroyd, is the best role he ever got, by far. I mean, by far. Um, I don't think he's ever had a role that's even come close to that. Um, I don't know what it is with Dan Aykroyd. I just, just. I mean, he was funny in some parts of Saturday Night Live, but when he got to the movies, well, for me, he just really struggled. I just didn't think that they no one ever really took advantage of who he was until they did Trading Places. Once Trading Places came out and you saw how he was, and you're sitting there going like, that's exactly how he is. That's Dan Aykroyd. I did like him in that a lot, and I liked him in Ghostbusters too. But that's about it for me.
Wow.
Of course, Jamie Lee Curtis had a most famous topless scene in that. I still remember at the theater, people were going like, they were gasping. They were like, "What?" Like, because they weren't expecting it. Nobody was. It wasn't like today where everybody knows what the whole movie's going to be before you even sit down to watch it, because there's spoilers and whatnot. And at that time, everybody saw Jamie Lee Curtis as being a mainstream actress. Her star was on the rise, and no one expected to see her do a topless scene, and she turned around and she did it, and everybody's like, I can't believe she did a topless scene, and I can't believe she has a rocking body.
One thing my cousin said when we were watching that movie for the first time is he said, they've grown. Where did they come from? That she was so not. They were so not there.
Right, from Halloween, when she
Yeah.
was doing it. Yeah. Well, what can I say? Maybe Michael Myers scared him off. Maybe he scared him. The growing them. Maybe it was like a defense mechanism. Like, I'm gonna come slash you, and then all of a sudden she's like, her boobies, super boobies, or something like. Who knows? So Trading Places is a classic movie. So many great lines from there. I mean, what more can you say about that? Let's see. There's a lot of other fun movies here. Private Resort. That was one of the earliest appearances of Johnny Depp,
Yep.
in a feature film. That movie was, and Rob Morrow, who ended up doing Northern Exposure. He was pretty funny in that. That was a funny movie.
It was. I liked the little nerd though.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, I remember they used to show that quite a bit on regular TV with all the good parts cut out, but it was because of Johnny Depp. But it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. Let's see what else we got here that are just classics. Oh gosh, Harry Lang and Spring Break. That was actually directed by Spring Break. That had David Nell in it and Steve Bassett, Harry Lang. But it's not who's in the cast; is who directed it, and that would be Sean S. Cunningham, and who did, I believe, Friday the 13th.
Wow.
He produced it. Let's see what he did. I think he directed. How many movies did he direct? Let's see. Oh, he did. He directed Deep Star 6, The New Kids, Spring Break. Oh, he did direct Friday the 13th. He directed Friday the 13th, Manny's Orphans, Here Comes the Tigers. Yep. So he also did a short called The Thing. in 1915. So he's still working. He was still working. But Deep Star 6, yep. But that's not a comedy. That's a horror film. Yeah, we're looking for horror. We're looking for comedies. But he directed Spring Break, and that was fun. Let's see. Joysticks, what you mentioned earlier. Holy cow! That was a pretty good movie. That had Joe Don Baker in it. Wow. Yep. I don't think I ever saw that one.
Huh?
Let's see. No. Was that the one where some video games were just getting popular?
Yeah.
They were beating their that was back. Well, a lot of the people in the chat might not remember this. They might not remember what an arcade is.
Seems like they're turning all the arcades into casinos now.
Let's see. Hobbs says that Joe just reached over 1,000 views on his nude scenes in the 80s movie segment on his channel. I love movies and filth that makes me happy. Love movies and filth that makes me happy. I don't know. I wouldn't say they're filth. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't. Congratulations, Joe. Yeah, spicy. That's what we call them, spicy. The more filth, the funk, the nasty, the dirt, the better. Yeah, but we don't have those movies like that being made anymore. Nudity in American films these days is very rare. It's not very much. It's not seen very much. Even in independent horror films, it's not seen anymore. No, not at all. Joe mentioned, I can't believe it, over 1,000 views in a day. Well, that's because he mentioned Betsy Russell, Joe. Now imagine if you would have put Karen Kay on there, you probably would have 5,000. Because I probably would have visited at 4,000 myself. So. If you would have put John, what was that guy's name from Honk?
John Allen Nelson.
If you would have put him on there on your video, Joe, you probably would have had like 7,000 because Jennifer would have came over.
Or Meat from Porky's.
Let's see. There's Secret Admirer. Yeah, so I mentioned that earlier. Holy cow, that had C. Thomas Howell in it.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Oh my gosh. You Can't Hurry Love. I remember that one. You Can't Hurry Love. Wasn't that with Patrick Dempsey or no?
No. That's Can't Buy Me Love.
Can't Buy Me Love. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's one. Oh, You Can't Hurry Love. Boy, that actually had Anthony Geary in it from General Hospital. Let's see. I'm just gonna go down to a little bit more. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Of course, we already talked about that. The Wildlife. Oh my gosh, I remember that. That is a funny movie. We talked about that before. We talked about that before for the show. That I remember seeing that at the theater. I saw that at the theater. It was pretty funny, and I do remember Chris Penn. That's a real shame what happened to him. That was Sean Penn's brother, and they marketed the film based on that it was Sean Penn's brother in it. And he was really funny. He was a really good actor, but he had a lot of demons in him.
Yeah, he did.
He really did. It was a real shame because he could do it all. He was funny. Chris Penn, some folks might not remember this, but Chris Penn, he did Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, he was in Reservoir Dogs. And he also was in Rush Hour. And he's also in Abel Ferrara's film called The Funeral. That's a dark ass film too. Ooh, that is dark.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, you didn't see it?
No.
No, you can skip that one. Trust me. But then he just crashed and burned, man. He just couldn't. I think what it was. I think he fought his weight problem. He was heavy, and then he just got heavier and heavier, and he just basically ate himself out of his career. And I think that really got to him at the end, um, because he struggled with it. I think he was also in Point Blank too. Point Break. I think he was in that as well. But he was really fun. He was really fun to watch, and I really liked him quite a bit. But I was really sad when I heard that he overdosed.
Yeah.
Um.
It's sad.
Okay, now
And
here's
Eric
another movie. Yeah.
Dope is in that movie too.
Yeah, from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Um,
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of I think there was a lot of people that were in this movie from Fast Times. They were trying to, bring in the audience by using some of the same actors. And I definitely remember they were pushing the fact that Chris Penn was Sean Penn's brother. If you like Spicoli, um, well, there we got something for you.
He
Um,
was
Leah
basically
Thompson.
playing the same part, kind of. And I loved it. I
Um,
loved
it
seeing
was sort
him.
of, I remember they were trying to push it more like an unofficial sequel to Fast Time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they had Leah Thompson made an early appearance there. Um, I do believe. I do believe.
Wyatt from Weird Science.
Mm-hmm.
Boy played Wyatt. He's in that.
Yep. Let's see. Let's see. The Hobbs sitting there going, okay. It's all about the filth, the dirt, the scum, and the sleeve.
Sleaze,
Yeah.
I believe he's trying to say.
Oh, sleaze. It's all about that stank. And then Hobbs says, "Did you guys like the Mr. Boogedy movies? Did you see those with Richard Mazer?" Um, nope.
No,
Um,
I didn't see that.
I have not heard of Mr. Boogedy. But have you heard of? Have you ever heard about this movie called Meet the Feebles?
I
Hobbs?
haven't. I have never watched it.
Yeah. I don't know if Hobbs has seen that movie. That might have been a little too much for him. Meet the Feebles.
um,
Let's see. Oh gosh. Okay, so this is the last '80s movie I'll talk about because then we'll move on. I do remember this because I remember. Oh my gosh, this one had the biggest hype since the movie called 10 with Bo Derek and Dudley Moore. So they came out with this other movie. Came out in 1984, and for a lot of people, this actress would be their number one '80s girl. Um, there was a movie called Blame It on Rio with Michael Caine and Joseph Bologna, and there was this beautiful blonde girl that got her start. Her name was Michelle Johnson. Holy cow! That sheesh, yeah, she was pretty darn smoking hot. And basically, what it was the young daughter of Joseph Bologna had the hots for Michael Caine's character, and so the movie was her trying to get with him, and he's trying not to get with her because that's his best friend's daughter, and all sorts of shenanigans happen. But I remember the hype for that movie was so overwhelmingly, everybody thought talking about it because they thought it was going to be another 10. Well, it came out, and everybody's like backpedaling from it. They were like, "No, this has nothing to do with like 10." They liked her, but they didn't like the movie, and it crashed and burned.
I
Um,
I did. I am not a fan of Michael Caine.
you don't like Michael Caine?
No, I don't.
Uh, he he's very prolific. mean, he does a lot of the good movies. Um, I will have to say for Michael Caine about one thing. At least when Michael Caine comes out, he's always playing. He's not playing the same guy every time. Every role he does show a lot of difference. You could definitely tell the difference between each role he plays. It's not just because sometimes, like I said, he's not like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds will show up on set and he's Ryan Reynolds. That's what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get anything new or different. You're just gonna get that. Um, but why not a fan of Michael Caine? Because he's English? Because
No,
he's on TV too much?
I love English humor and everything, but I don't. When he did humor, I didn't think it was funny. It just, I don't know what it was about him, but I didn't find it humorous at all. The way his face was always so serious, even when he
Well,
tried to perform.
that's a good question. What's an actor that everybody likes? I mean, you think about everybody likes, but you don't. Like Michael Caine. I don't. I never heard anybody sit there and say they didn't like Michael Caine. That's that. Hobbs mentioned Susanna Hoffs, the Bengals. I don't know anybody who says they don't like Susanna Hoffs. I've never heard anybody sit there and say that nobody's ever. I've always no. Wow. As far as actors go, I mean, I like him in certain doses. I mean, small doses. I would sit there and say like Joe Pesci. I can't handle a lot of Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci, he gets on my nerves. Like maybe it's his voice or whatever, but man, it just grates on my ass. So I hear it.
Joe Pesci?
Oh yeah, Joe Pesci. Yeah.
Oh.
Rick saying Jennifer.
Huh?
And Rick saying Mr. Joe and Cheetah. And of course, it's and say hi to you too.
Hello.
And Hobbs is mentioning the I'm mentioning ladies I know. I know she's loved. Yeah. Okay. So you like Jennifer? You like Susanna Hoffs? Susanna Hoffs is yeah. I wonder why she didn't do more movies. She definitely could have. I think she just did the one. Yeah, Joe Pesci would be one of mine. It's like I don't know. It's his voice. Just grates on me.
Did you like him in Goodfellas?
Yeah.
Fellas or
I saw him in Casino, and he was funny in Lethal Weapon. That he was funny there. And Casino, that was interesting. I like Casino how that I mean, I'm not really a big mob guy. I don't like those kind of movies. I really don't like those mob movies very much. But I did think it was really interesting how they're narrating the story. They're Robert De Niro's talking about narrating, then Joe Pesci, then halfway through it, all of a sudden Joe Pesci goes from talking to like dying. Because his stories because they kill him and his brother. The boss they're going to take it out on somebody, and then it's him. They're taking it out on him. The two. Let's see. I wish I was in Goodfellas. I would have kicked a Pesky's ass. Yep. Thank you so much. Yeah.
He was.
I do think it's his voice that gets on my nerve. I think the Rock as an actor is overrated, a little overrated. Yeah, that's another good point right there. Dwayne Johnson, and the thing that it is, though, Dwayne Johnson actually has the range to go better. He actually has the range to do better. Um, some of his earlier films, and you're gonna laugh at this, but if you go back and watch them, they're pretty damn good. They're different, and that is the Game Plan, the Fairy Godmother, or he was really cute in that. The remake to Escape from Witch Mountain, that was pretty good. Um, he showed a lot of depth there. It wasn't just The Rock.
Yeah.
I think he tried. I think he really tried hard to downplay that in Central Intelligence. But it's hard. It's hard because no one's really writing roles for him that are asking him to tone it down. To play within himself. Without being super over the top. Nobody's really written a part for him that way. I mean, he actually was pretty good in San Andreas. I mean, his character, but that movie was dog shit. I mean, it was just pure dog shit.
Yeah.
Oh, My Cousin Vinny. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Yeah, I'm with you, Jared. I mean, the Jungle Cruise. Oh, Christ, that was just like, wow. Where's Brenda Fraser and Sarah and Rachel Weisz? I mean, or Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom. I mean, Keira Knightley, because that's all that was, just a mishmash of that. Yeah, and like in the Fast and Furious movies, in the Hobbs and Shaw, yeah, he's basically playing the same character over and over and over.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of action stars end up happening to them.
Yeah, I mean, what can I, what can he, it's like, but at least he tries. I mean, with the Jumanji, he's actually pretty entertaining in that. He wasn't quite over the top with that. I mean,
No,
he was actually pretty restrained. And I haven't seen him in Tales from the Southland yet, or which I heard he was really good in. I haven't seen him in that. I tell you, the one movie that he was a badass in. I mean, a complete badass, and I really enjoyed his character a lot. Um, Even though it was a noir movie and you already knew what was going to happen, but he was really good in Faster. That was a hell of a ride. That was a hell of a ride. He didn't have much to say, but damn, that movie was muscular. Yeah, the Tooth Fairy. The Tooth Fairy was really good. I know it's a Disney movie and it's aimed for kids, but he actually really played that role with a lot of sensitivity. And I thought his chemistry with Julie Andrews was really good. You could definitely see they liked each other. Where's the Hobsters tonight? I bet he's getting a massage. The pimp. Yeah, yeah, Rick. I think he's probably getting his pumpkin stemmed a little manicured.
which one?
He's probably getting that. He's probably getting that stem straightened out. The pumpkin. It's got to fit that chocolate donut. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the new Jumanji movies are really neat. I just saw the first one. I really liked it quite a bit. I thought it was well done.
The first Jumanji?
Yeah, yeah. I thought the first Jumanji, I thought they did a nice job with it.
That's another thing. I know he died and everything, but I never really appreciated Robin Williams.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you go back to the '80s comedies. I mean, it wasn't sex comedies per se, but if you go back to the '80s comedies and '90s, I mean, Robert Williams definitely has to be included in that. You know, the very first Robin Williams movies I ever saw was let's see, Hobbs was wondering if we're talking about his pumpkins. Yeah, yeah,
You were talking about your stem.
yeah. We heard there's a lot of seeds in your pumpkin. Probably want to get some of those roasted. Oh my gosh. Rick saying, "Holy moly, Hobbs!" Yep. Um. Yeah, the first Robin Williams movie I ever saw was uh, The World According to Garp. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that movie had me in tears at the end. That movie, that I can't watch that movie today without crying at the end. That's such a sad ending.
Yeah, it is.
Um. Oh gosh, the Baywatch movie. Oh gosh, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'll probably say something pretty unpopular here. I'm gonna tell you honestly, that Baywatch movie was not as bad as they said it was. Uh, yeah, there was some kinky CGI, but tell me a movie that doesn't have kinky CGI. But overall, I thought the movie was okay. I thought it was a lot of fun. Um, I thought it kept the spirit of the show. Um, I thought it was charming. I did. I thought it was. I think Zac Efron was totally playing against type, and he looked like he was just having the time of his life. Alexandra Daddario. I mean, I think she's probably got the prettiest eyes in Hollywood today. Her eyes are just gorgeous. I think she's so interesting to look at. Let's see. Hobb says, as long as his pumpkins get handled properly with care, I'm good. No carving. Um, no carving. I guess we can't. It looks like someone's been carving on your pumpkin already, there, Hobbs, according to that picture. Let's see.
My mind has turned to a dirty place. Stop that.
Stop that, Jennifer. People see you as purely innocent, Jennifer. We can't ruin that image.
Oh my goodness. I'm talking about 80s sex comedies and wanting to dance around the room. It's horrible.
Now the '90s. You think the '90s? Where do you think we had a better decade for comedies? Do you think the '80s or the '90s had the better had the more laughs?
80s. 80s forever.
Because I'm looking at some of the '90s. I'm looking at some of the '90s movies right now, and holy cow! I mean, there's some seriously funny ass movies here. American Pie movies. Um, Mighty Aphrodite with Mira Sorvino. Um, let's see.
Chasing Amy.
Chasing Amy was one. And The Northerners.
Deuce Bigelow. Male Gigolo.
No, we can't. Rob Snyder. Okay. Do you think that maybe Seth Rogen and is actually Rob Snyder's son?
No. Are you comparing the greatness of Rob Schneider to the medium greatness of
Jennifer,
Seth Rogen?
you're the only person I know that has put the word greatness and Rob Snyder in one sentence. Yep. Yep. There's something about Mary. I mean, there's a lot of great '90s, but a lot of great '90s comedies. Much Ado About Nothing, what I mentioned earlier.
Here's an odd one. Exit to Eden.
Exit to Eden.
Weirdly. Rosie O'Donnell's in it. Dan Aykroyd.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one where they're trying to break. I think they're trying to break Dana Delaney. They're trying to make her into a bit of a sex symbol. But she just didn't. She looks really cool on TV. She has a really good look on TV, but I don't think her look translated very well to features. She never really translated. She was good in TV, but didn't translate. Hobbs is sitting there going, was thinking of sending Cheetah a cat sick blues hat. Holy cow! No, cat sick blues. Yeah, if I get the whole helmet like in the movie, I would actually wear that. I would wear that if they actually had the costume helmet they had in the movie. I would wear that for Halloween.
She said in the Speedo too.
Oh my God, Jennifer, you do not want to see me in a Speedo. Oh my God, trust me, that. Oh Lord,
you had to wear it.
Yeah, no. Remember, you ever see that movie called Orca?
I love Orca.
Well, there you go. You ever seen the movie called Free Willy?
Don't like that.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to think of all the whale movies. Moby Dick. Yeah. Now try to imagine someone putting a Speedo on a whale.
well, you're mentioning names of big fish, so now
yeah.
and
yeah.
then you say Moby Dick, and
I'm trying to think of what else. Release the. Remember the Kraken and the Pirates of the Caribbean?
Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken. Yeah, there you go.
Crack of the Titans.
Yeah, Ross Snyder is the singer Ellie King. Yeah. He's very Republican. Rob Snyder he's very family values, but his daughter, I think his daughter overdosed. I think she's still alive, but I think she had a severe drug problems. I think he was squeezing her way too tight. Moby, yeah. Didn't you see you ever heard that joke? What lies on the bottom of the ocean? I don't know. Moby's dick. Yeah, we heard X's and O's like for a whole damn year at the store I worked in. Oh my gosh, X's and O's is like, please shut the hell up with that already. But I heard that she was she almost died. She was like, she was I heard that she had overdosed. Moby Dick had a nickname. Would they call him Mo Dick? I have no idea. I'm not gonna even think about that one. Mo Dick. Okay, so it looks like yeah, you might be right, Jennifer. The 80s might be they might be pretty popping as far as comedy goes. I'm looking at it here, and they had Killer Condom.
You want to hear a horrible one?
What's that?
Even though it stars and was made by Corey Feldman, who I do still like. It's called Busted. And it might as well be a porn.
Wow.
Softcore porn. It's nuts, man.
Oh, how about this one? How about Beach Base from Beyond, starring all the brothers that no one's heard of? Joe Estevez, Don Swayze, and Joey Travolta. Oh, could you imagine that? Could you imagine the pitch for that? Let's see if we get Charlie Sheen, Patrick Swayze, and John Travolta to do it. Yeah, but they want millions of dollars. We only got $50 for our budget. Okay, we'll go get Joe Estevez, Don Swayze, and Joey Travolta. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Um, let's see. Wow, there's
There
not
was
very
one.
much.
There was. There is a not. I don't think it's well known, but it stars Dean Cameron from Summer School, and it's a naughty movie. Ski School.
Ski School. Trying to remember that. Oh, nope, don't remember that one. I do remember a Zap though. That had Heather Thomas in it, but I don't think she did. I don't think she was. I don't think she did a topless scene in that. I know she was in it, and people were talking about her. That's from the girl from the Fall Guy, but I don't think she was. I don't think she was. I don't think she did a booby scene. Let's see. All Men Are Liars. Man. Okay, I'm gonna have to give you. I'm gonna have to give you this one, Jennifer. I think the '80s definitely had the. They definitely had it. I mean, there's some really bad movies in the '90s. I mean, there's movies. There's movies I didn't even heard of before, and I heard of everything.
What about South Beach Academy?
Nope. Nope. I'm seriously. Nope.
That's another Corey Feldman movie.
Wasn't he supposed to be exposing everybody's secrets here? I think the only thing he was exposing was people's wallets to his greedy hands.
Yeah, that's about it.
Comedy in today. I mean, like I said, comedy today. It just seems to be. I think a real tricky. I think a really tricky combo is horror comedy. I mean, that's a tricky line to walk. You know, it's like what's funny and how far do you make it for fun, and not. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I mean, there's some movies that are just absolutely hilarious, like all the haunted house movies. You know, the scary house movies. Those things are pretty funny, but that comes across more like Airplane, though.
Yeah, it does.
I like my horror comedy to be just a little bit more thinking, you know, like
Horror-y, I mean.
like I tell you the one I really liked is Dale and Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I've never seen that.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. That's a funny ass movie. Let's see. But it's a tricky line to walk because, you know, how do you stay like Tremors was funny. Tremors was a really good movie to watch because I had, you know, yeah, people were getting waxed, but you know, but they weren't really. It wasn't gory how they were, you know. It was like okay, but it was still funny because they had a lot of one-liners on it. Tucker and Dale is amazing. Yes, I agree. The only thing I was bummed about in that whole movie was they didn't have Shelley Simmons in there long enough. I love Shelley Simmons. Let's see. Hobbs is sitting here. Yeah, works for retail before. I love Busted. Jen, Corey Feldman is a legend. Oh my God. Did he say that? Did he just say Corey Feldman's a legend? Corey Feldman? Corey Feldman.
You know what? Hobbs sent me a present.
Did he send you Corey Feldman?
He sent me an autographed picture of Corey Feldman.
Did he really?
Yes. And I will love him forever for that. Well, I would love him forever anyway, even for that. He's a great guy, but yeah. Oh my goodness. And it stands on my wall.
Let's see. Hobbs is going blown away. Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. Fatal Attraction, where Michael Douglas porks Glenn Close in a sink. Yeah, but Glenn Close still looked better than Sarah Jessica Parker.
She's what?
That's a horror. That's a horror comedy right there. Or was that just straight horror show? Could you imagine doing Sarah Jessica Parker and Seth Rogen did a romance together, or romantically, like romantic comedy?
I don't like Sarah Jessica Parker.
I would think it'd be like Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah, Tucker and Dale is very good, very funny movie. Holy cow!
Meatballs 4. Meatballs 4. Meatballs 4. Corey Feldman.
What about Leprechaun?
What?
What about Leprechaun? Horror comedy.
Oh, we're moving away. Okay. Yes, I do like Leprechaun. You know, you get somebody on a pogo stick. And of course, I think Troll 2 would be considered a horror comedy.
Okay, due to popular demand and of the three people here, we're gonna make a poll.
Oh. What meme poll are you making?
I'm not making a mean one.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something bad about Feld Dog. Or Seth Rogen. I'm glad
the thing about it is though, the thing about it is where Sarah Jessica Parker has gotten more and more, Sanderson like as she's grown older. Glenn Close has actually gotten more and more pretty.
True. I think the same is true with Handsome with.
Okay, I'm throwing out a poll out there. Should be popping up here in a minute. There we go. Okay, so far we got wow, that can't happen. Where I get the vote? I better give it the vote. Oh, come on, this is rigged.
What is it?
I can't. It won't let me vote.
What's the question?
Stranded on a desert island. Who are you taking? Sarah Jessica Parker or Glenn Close?
Neither.
Well, I can understand them taking Sarah Jessica Parker because if you do want to scare food out of the bushes, like to send them into it. I can understand that. You can send her in there, she scare everything out to the open, so I get that. Curse of the Queer Wolf is a hilarious horror comedy. I have not seen that one. I've not seen that one. I definitely would like to check that out. I have seen Feast. I thought Feast was a lot of fun.
Microwave Massacre.
Attack of the Killer Donuts. Let's see. Guinea Pig 3. He Never Dies. What's a guinea pig?
It's a pet big huge hamster.
Okay, well it says I guess there's a series because it's called Oh, here's a movie that came out this year called The Spookany. Cordelia and Ferguson are a semi-happy, extremely dead married couple whose relationship is stuck in the Victorian ages. When the house they haunt is Airbnb'd, they must descended upon by a group of whatever. Nobody we know. But that's a good title, though. I like the title for a movie. The Spookany.
Yeah.
I would take that. I'd take that. Vamp with Grace Jones. Yep. That's a good one. I don't know why it won't let me vote. This is my poll. This is sort of sucks. I'm not allowed to vote here. It's just weird. Okay.
That's who I'd like to take is Grace if I went to a desert island. She'd be fun.
Zoinks. me, Grace, and Corey Feldman. The Devil's Triangle. Oh my gosh, that's funny as hell. Gosh, let's see. Oh, here's another one. Action show, spook show, spectacular. I think a lot of these are just like I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're movies that haven't been made before. I think that's what it is. I think they're supposed to be coming.
Mm.
So I think next week, Jennifer, we should do when Hobbs comes back. Next week we should do the 10 most annoying characters that in a movie or TV show. So the 10 most annoying characters that you just can't stand when you see them. That'd be a tough one.
No, it wouldn't for me.
Yeah, my first two would be really easy. My first one's really easy. My number one is just like without a doubt, and I'm sure people will sit there and shake their head and go like, "Yep, I agree with you." And no, it's not Gilligan. Though Gilligan probably would make my list. Yeah, let's do that for next week.
Is it the character they're playing?
Yeah, the character they're playing. What's the 10 most hated characters on TV or a movie that you can't stand?
Characters, okay.
Not actors. No. Hi, how are you, Roy and Becky? We were talking 80s and 90s comedies, and now we're talking about Glenn Close and Sarah Jessica Parker. Greetings.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I need to get a copy of when I go out tomorrow? Remind me. I get a copy of It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
You don't have that?
I don't have a copy of The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. They should be those movies should be everything should be starting to come out again now. Like it's a Thanksgiving Charlie Brown. I have Christmas. I have the Christmas one, but I don't have Thanksgiving and I don't have the Great Pumpkin. I think Hobb has the definitive collector's edition. I think it comes in like a 9 discs. Yeah. What about you? What about you? Roy and Becky, what's your favorite comedies? Cheers is funny. Yeah, Cheers is a good one. I like Cheers when they got Christy Alley in. Rebecca
Yeah.
Howe. Yeah.
I think her and Sam had a better chemistry.
Yes, way more than I don't understand how people think Shelley Long is funny. I never got that. I think I've only seen one thing with Shelley Long in it that I actually liked her in, and that was Troop Beverly Hills. I thought that's the only thing I ever watched her in that I actually thought she was actually really cute in. I just I just never got her. I just never understood it. Hobbs mentions he brings joy to the children. Uh, he brings joy. The children are sincere. Oh, to two children that are sincere on Halloween. The Great Pumpkin. I have to notice. We have to go back when we watch that Charlie Brown. We have to see if the stems are straight or if they're crooked, Jennifer.
Yes.
Oh, the Jeff Fox worthy show. Yeah, that was a really cute show too, wasn't it? Um, the one I would like to see that I haven't seen was the one where the what was it called? The Greg. Oh gosh, maybe the Greg Enveld show. It's a show that launched Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence was on the show first on it. I think it came on TBS or TNT. I like to see that.
I
And
just
and
thought of the first person for next week.
hmm.
I just thought of my number one person for next week.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
No, it's a
Oh,
male.
really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, mine would be too. Actually, I think my whole list would probably end up being males. Most annoying characters on TV or a movie that you just want them to die really quick. Not real quick, but painful. Let's see.
Or just throw him off the boat in the Love Boat.
Oh, I know who you picked. I know who you picked. I know who you picked. Uh, Thanks, Joe. Yeah, that's the show I like to check out. I have never watched a single episode of that show. I'd like to get that. I'm gonna go out tomorrow. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna have to. I'm probably have to make a run at the disc replay. Um, the big comfy couch. No, I don't think. I think, man, that actually might be a kid show. What do you think we're gonna do on the 19th, Jennifer? Should we do something musical? Like, oh, how about this? How about our top 10 musicals for the 19th?
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah,
I can do that.
yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. So we could do that. We could do top 10 musicals. They could be any genre. We'll have to find some people that can do music. I think I can do that. Um, yeah, that'll be fun.
Got me excited already. Now I have to write down musicals.
Yeah, I thought that was a show, Jennifer, Amanda. I knew that. I was like, why does that sound familiar? I know he's trying to be funny, but I'm going like, I know I've seen that name before. The big comfy couch. Um, the 90s were probably let's see, yeah. The, which decade do you think had the funniest shows though? Roy and Becky. Um, what decade? The 80s, 90s, 2000s. See, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I had a tiny weird demented crush. Okay. No, I think Home Improvement was the 1990s.
What?
Home Improvement. I think it did come out in the 90s. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
Did somebody just like that?
Yeah. I like the neighbor.
Oh my god.
I want to say it was the 90s too, though, because Pamela Anderson was on it. And then Home Improvement came out in 1991. Because I was going to say Pamela Anderson ended up doing Baywatch, and that came out in the 90s. Roseanne, yep, that's a good one. Yep. Scrubs is the shit, Joe. Scrubs is the bomb right there. How I Met Your Mother. I really liked How I Met Your Mother, but they really dropped the ball in the last episode. They dropped the ball so hard on the last episode. But yeah, I absolutely love Scrubs. Scrubs is that's definitely top 3 for me. Let's see. Hop says he's so weird. Also crushed on Vicky from Small Wonder. Well, that's a little weird. And she was a robot. I wonder if she'll get Wi-Fi now. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I forget Hobbs. Oh, did you see the alternative? Did you see the alternative ending though, Joe? The alternative ending is absolutely beautiful. They dropped the ball. The alternative one is so good. It's the right one. It really is. It's the right one. The one they ran, that just sucked. But the last one where they explain how everything came together, and at the very end they show the umbrella. Oh man, I that was really fun. That was really cute.
It was.
And Scrubs, I loved Scrubs all the way through. I even liked the last season. I thought the last season was had promise. Um, but there's so many good episodes of Scrubs. Holy crap! I mean, there's just a lot of good episodes there. They even have a Halloween one. They even have a Halloween episode. Actually, they did. I did the Halloween episodes quite a bit. Yeah, Roseanne. Yep. Yeah, I guess the Connor show is just really too heavy, really too serious.
I never was a fan of Roseanne, so I never watched the Connors.
Uh, yeah, I just let's see. Alice carried into the 80s. Yeah, Alice was really good. Yep, I like that. I yeah, I like the alternative ending. I don't know. Maybe because the original was just a little bit too close to home for me. I didn't like that one because it was a little too close. But a lot of people did not like the first one. They liked the alternative one. The Hobbs is here. The Hobbs don't. Hobbs doesn't want no scrubs. Oh, they're half sisters. All right. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't. Oh, Allison. Allison. What? She's funny. I think she ended up doing stand-up comedy. The girl who played Nellie Olson. Yeah, she ended up Alice. I can't pronounce her last name, but she ended up doing stand-up comedy. The Hopsters is here. Uh,
Yeah, I watched. What is it called?
oh, Jennifer, before you go, it's getting sort of late here. We better do our community bugle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They really like Beverly Hills 90210. I like the first couple of years. All right. Go ahead.
Do, 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 do.
All right. It's a good thing Brad's here. Brad, when is your interview start on the 25th with Lisa Wilcox? Now Joe's 80s post got up to 1100. They're all there. They're all there to see Betsy Russell, Joe. That's all they're there for. They're all there to see Betsy Russell. Let's see. All right, all right. So it's a small community bugle, but I'll let it go. So one of our favorite shows going on right now. It's a consortium of movie buffs. They call themselves the Cinema Squad. Man of Movies, Lost in the Reel, Borja Bukhar, the Upside Dan, and then I think there's one other gentleman. They all get together on Fridays and they do a show called Shooting the Shit, and they bring on a guest and they just talk about what's been going on during the week, sort of like what we do here in some respects, but they go into a little bit more detail, a little bit more depth. I mean, on things that they like. It's a fun little show. I really enjoy it. It does really well. It's cool because they're younger voices, so that you hear things from a younger perspective. Because there's a lot of movies they don't know about, and and so when you hear them talk about it, like when they see it for the first time, um, it's really fun to listen to them and talk to them, and so I enjoy that. They rotate the show on various channels, and it's definitely fun to watch. It's like Fridays, like at 6 o'clock on Eastern time. They started. Um, the House of Horrors had two great interviews this past week. On this past Saturday, they talked to Nicholas Vance, who played the Chatterer on the Hellraiser movies. Yeah, I didn't know that. I got caught way out of the loop on that one. I wish I had known that more. I probably would have actually helped promote that more. That's a cool interview to get. Play the Chatterer on Hellraiser movies. Um, and then he also had another gentleman named Brian Bremer came on. Um, two really strong interviews. I thought they did really well. I thought they did a nice job with them both. Like I said, Nicholas Vance. I think he said that was his first interview, live podcast. Um, and he also played Kinski in Nightbreed. Yeah, nobody else knew or nobody knew about it. So that's a shame because that interview should be watched. Unfortunately, Steven is having a hard time gaining traction, but his shows are on. The House of Horror is on every Saturday night at 7 o'clock on the Horror Horror Freak Horror Freak 85. Um, every Saturday from 7 to 9. Um, he's really putting some good guests together that no one seems to be paying any attention to. So we need to change that around. Um, I don't know what time. As I say that, I'm going to say Brad has an interview too on Saturday the 25th with Lisa Wilcox. I'm not sure what time that is. Generally, his interviews do start at 7 o'clock as well. I'm not sure if that's going to be a recorded interview or a live interview. I don't know that either. Um, he left before I could get that information. I will try to get that for you by next week's Bugle. let's see. I gotta give a little hype out to my pal, Scratchin Pete PA. That guy has a really cool channel. He's super supportive. He's been inside the our streams many times. Really nice guy. Comes over and gives thumbs up. He leaves good comments. Um, his channel is he basically on every Tuesday does a live or does a premiere where he scratches off a ticket. He lives in Canada, and he has people vote on one or two tickets that he's going to scratch off. We all vote on it. He scratches off the ticket. Hopefully he wins, because we all want to see somebody win the lottery, right? And then not only does he do that, but he also highlights another channel. After he does the card, he'll come up there and he'll hype another channel, someone who he deems worthy, and then he hypes their channel up, and then they get entered into the ending of the month drawing, to where he gets another lottery scratch off card, and then he scratches it. He picks a winner, he scratches the card, and the person they win, they can win up to 50% of the prize, as long as it's not like $1 million. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, who did like Donna or Brenda? I was never a fan of Shannon Doherty, so I can't say. I gotta go with Donna. Yeah, I was talking about 90210. Let's see. Multi-pack mania is still going on. Joe and Jason, Horrific Nightmares JM, they're still tearing it up with the multi-pack mania. If you need to know what that is, I'll put a link down below for the HORRORman and Horrific Nightmares JM. You can go over their channels to check it out. If you want to get involved, please do so. Let's see. Shang-Chi has opened up this weekend. And a lot of our people in our own community are talking about the movie. I definitely want to go see that. I might actually venture out for that now that I got my shots. Now I can actually venture out to that and feel comfortable. So I might go see Shang-Chi. Most of the reviews I've seen in the community has said it's pretty good. And of course, I'm bummed out that Marvel once again, for the life of God, and I'm going to say a spoiler, so cover your ears if you don't want to hear it, but they keep on killing the damn villains. Stop doing that. Quit killing your villains. I absolutely hate that, and it's a stupid practice. Always hate it. Then I'm going to talk about Artfully Blind. Artfully Blind with Diana is a channel that actually you'll be seeing more of next month. It's a legally blind young lady named Diana who literally makes art on her channel. She's blind, but she can make art, and her talent is off the chain. I will leave the link down below for that. You really have to check that out. I'm actually going to be interviewing her next month on my channel, but her skill level is off the chain. I know sighted artists that cannot do what she does. They just can't do it. It's an amazing gift. I already mentioned Doomsday. And then our friend Plaidx2, who I really want to get on the show. I really want to get him on the midnight hour if I can one of these days. He's a movie buff, and he's a very serious movie fan. He likes old classics like Charlie Chaplin and the Stooges, and he's a big Criterion fan. And his movie collection, his tastes are really cool. I really enjoy watching John's channel, and he started a new series called The Five, which is he's interviewing various movie collectors about he brings up a subject or a genre, and they bring out their 5 favorite movies regarded to that movie, to that genre, and explains why they mean that much to the person. It's a really good show. I'll have to put that down in the description box below too. So yeah, like I said, it's a small community bugle. Vincent Becky, I'm sorry, Horror Spice has a new contest. I would be remiss in not mentioning that. They have a new contest called February is the Shortest Month. Now, I know it's September and it's not February, and you know what though? Just go with it. Um, they're offering up a new movie, and more importantly, they're offering up another chance for Hobbs to win some hot sauce. That's really all that matters. Uh, and yeah, they do feature some of the really great prizes off their channel. Whether it be hot sauce and a couple of movies or whatever, but they have some outstanding gifts. And yeah, a lot of people are really joining their contest. So consider please doing so. Me and the Cheetah, we'll definitely come by and see who wins. All right, that's all I got for the Bugle, Jennifer. Play us out.
Do 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 do.
All right, Jennifer, we have actually made it to 3 hours tonight.
Wow.
I know. Well, how do you feel? You feel like I think we got six in here. I think we can still talk a little bit. Let's see if we can talk a little bit unless it goes under 6. If it goes under 5, we'll end it. But as long as we keep above 5, we'll keep talking.
Okay.
All right.
I can tell you about 2 movies I watched this week.
Oh, please do. What? Oh, you actually watched them? Or?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
When our drive-in gets close to closing every year, they start doing double features, and they did Don't Breathe 2 and Candyman.
How'd you like that? How'd you like them?
I told when I first came out, I said, I'm never gonna watch Don't Breathe. How dare they turn him into a nice person?
Yeah. I heard a lot of blowback on that too. I heard a lot of blowback about that, how they made him into an anti-hero when he in the first movie he's clearly shown to be a rapist and a child molester. Yeah, I don't get that either.
But I did enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
I was liking it. The only thing I don't want to see a dog die.
It showed a dog die in there?
Yeah. That's dog shot.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. And then I just did not like Candyman.
You like?
I did not like it. It was just
too slow, or
it was too slow, and it didn't have anything to do with the guy not changing or being a different person or anything. I just did not find it as scary, as the other movies. Maybe because the surprise wasn't there anymore. And the actor that is turning into Candyman, I just did not like him at all. He was just a mean person.
So he got his just desserts then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as long as yeah. I you know what? I wasn't really planning to go see Candyman at the theater. I did plan on seeing it. The only thing I hadn't planned on seeing it at all when I first heard it was being remade. I just said to myself, they got to have Tony Todd, or else I'm not seeing it at all. And I don't care who makes it. I don't care if Guillermo del Toro made it or whoever, or you know, okay, maybe if Ashley Clark made it, I'd go see it. But I don't care who made it. But I want to see Tony Todd in it. It has to have Tony Todd. It's this iconic character, and that's really all I wanted to see. I read the synopsis of the movie. It is confusing to me. It's a confusing read because it's like I just didn't get it. I didn't get the idea. I thought that whoever called him out, that person would die. Or that's it. And it's just like, okay, so like how now in this movie, all of a sudden now he's supposed to be like a social justice, like he only comes if there's injustice. And in the first one, he just came out just to fuck people up. He didn't care if he didn't care if you're good or bad, or or on the Santa's good list or bad boy list. If he called his name through the mirror, he was coming to get you. But in this movie here, it's confusing.
It's
Joe
like
says Candyman is
turn him
frustrating.
into a hero.
So much potential, great connection to the original, but lacking in so many areas. Yeah, and I'm not even sure how much. I really hope that they had a lot of Tony Todd in it. I mean, I would hate to go to the movie and not see but 30 seconds of Tony Todd. I don't want to go see a movie with that. I mean, I want him to be front and center, in this movie. I mean, I know they're doing it. I know they're changing over. They're telling a different story, but it has to have Tony Todd in it. It has to have a lot of him. I don't want to see him in there for less than like for 5 minutes. Like in the original Candyman, he's really not in that movie very much. In the first one, and it's like, okay, well, here's your chance to fix it. So fix it. Oh, okay. The original Candyman, yes. Tony Todd he's just one of those actors that just, again, he really deserved more than what he got. He really did. Tony Todd should have been like a megastar. I mean, he had the looks, definitely had the voice, he had the chops. I mean, when he's just a great actor, and he just didn't get what he deserved. He got typed into all these low budget horror films. If you go out in your video store, you can see a ton of Tony Todd movies with his name on the box. But then when you put it in there, you'll get it for 5 minutes. And it's just really frustrating to me. Oh yeah, I was already planning on that, Joe. I was already planning on just trying to find a copy at the library. That was really what I was really already planning on that. I mean, I'm glad the movie got made. And I'm glad it did well enough so they're going to probably do another one, and that's really important. But you got to have more Tony Todd in there. I'm glad they made it. Becky and Roy and Becky mentioned earlier, on Friday nights they have trivia. It's usually about 80s and 90s TV series. I learn a lot setting it up every week. Oh yeah, I love trivia. Oh yeah. It's the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah. Macho Man. Are you ready? Bonesaw's ready. Oh yeah. That's what they should. Too bad they didn't have that in the Spider-Man Coming Home. They should have had the Macho Man coming out going like, oh yeah. Yeah, I'm more perturbed more than by Candyman. I'm more perturbed and find it more disturbing about the switch with Don't Breathe. Totally don't get that at all. It's like you have shown this guy to be a dangerous psychopath, and now all of a sudden here he comes and you made him into an anti-hero. And it's just like I could get that if he was just living his life by himself, that wasn't bothering anybody, and then he defended his house against the first three people from the first movie, and then he comes out and helps the second. I can get that, but that's not how that movie worked, and I find that really disturbing in a sense.
Yeah.
Now yeah, it's like, you know, yeah, you're not gonna make a rapist and a child molester into a hero. It's just it's really a bad idea. Um, don't yeah, okay. Well, yeek. I know that the movie I want to see now, the big one I want to see now is We Should Do Something, and that's a new ISC midnight movie that's coming out this week. I really want to see that. Um, uh, I really want to see that. It's about this family gets trapped in a bathroom after a tornado. So basically, it's sort of like being trapped in an elevator. Um, Sammy
Maybe they
Davis
can
Jr.
make the movie trades when they're in there.
See, who can take the sunshine and sprinkle it with dew? I put Sammy Davis Jr. um, so what are you gonna be posted up this week, Jennifer? I think I'm doing I think I'm gonna do my review of Spyro as soon as I get done with the stream here. I'm gonna go on there and do my review.
I'm going to be doing Multipack Mania tomorrow.
Cool.
And I'm going to be doing, of course, 80s archives.
You got your movie picked out?
Yes, I do.
Is it gonna be Hunk?
Nope. I already did Hunk.
Oh, you did. Holy cow!
Another.
You do Fell Dog? Which one you gonna do?
I can't tell you.
Well, just whisper it. No, whisper it so no one in the chat can hear you.
Earth Girls Are Easy.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, that was really cute. I actually saw that at a midnight showing. Good one. Let's see. Amanda really wants to see the new Halloween and Candyman and Conjuring 3. I think the Conjuring 3 came out on home market, home release. I think that's out now. The Devil Made Me Do It. I think that's been released. I'm gonna go out tomorrow. I'm gonna go out there and I think I'm gonna go to. I know I got Library Day on Tuesday. I didn't go last Tuesday, but I'm gonna go this Tuesday. And I think I'm gonna go out to. I think I'm going to Walmart tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm actually gonna say this. I think I'm gonna go to the one close to my house. The only reason I say that is because it's next to a Sam's Club, a Walmart and a Sam's Club, and the parking lot is absolutely insane. It's insane.
Oh no.
So I might park across the street and go that way. It's either that or I might go see Shang-Chi. I haven't figured it out yet.
My son has seen that twice.
Wow, that's good praise.
Loves it.
That's great.
Yeah.
I remember reading that comic book when I was a kid, and I also read the books, the Fu Manchu book by Saul Romer. Hobbs wants me to film my adventures at Walmart. I definitely will film I'll definitely film my library run. I definitely will do that. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't go this week. I'm upside down this week's what it is. I can't. I'm having a hard time sleeping all over again, so I gotta get some melatonin.
Are you on 5 or 10?
5, 5.
Oh,
I take 4, so it's 20 milligrams.
oh, I didn't know
Oh,
you could take more than 10.
yeah. My sleep is terrible. And then Paladin has taken to sleeping on the bed early. He's way early. He never sleeps on the bed this early in the year. In the year, uh, it's not cold at all. It's very warm. And in fact, we're supposed to get some. We're supposed to get some rain pretty soon. Um, but he's sleeping on the bed early. He never does that. He doesn't generally get on the bed until it starts getting cold, like in the upper 40s. That's when he starts jumping on the bed to sleep on the bed. So, well, I tell you what, Jennifer is now 1:15. I think we should just go ahead and pull the chute. I definitely want to thank everybody in the chat, especially Roy and Becky. Thank you so much. Kind of like I'm sorry, I missed this. Kind of like the new Dukes of Hazzard bringing Roscoe, turning Roscoe into Billy Badass instead of the dork that he was. I hated that. Yeah. They actually had a couple of really touching episodes of that. Um, yeah, yeah. So next week we're gonna do. God, we can actually probably do both. Let's do our 10 hated characters on TV and movies, and then our 10 favorite musicals. That's next week. Okay, that'll be fun, and we'll see if we can find a guest for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find somebody. Joe, maybe Joe will come up next week for that since he didn't come up for 80s comedies. I will go ahead and watch this as a replay, and then I will put all the information I mentioned earlier. I'll put that in the description box below. I need to do that. I don't think I do have that. I don't think I do that half the time I talk when I do the show. I think I've totally forget to put all the links down. I need to fix that. All right. Well, we will talk at you soon. Stay right where you're at, Jennifer.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Till the next one.
Bye.
Peace.